What is up, everybody? It's the Inhuman one here with Codex Lost. Today we're going to be doing something a little different. This is a game that I was just kind of, searching around, seeing what was out, and it just kind of came out of nowhere, honestly. And it is surprisingly a game that I have just been completely hooked on for the past few days since I got my hands on it. So this is Codex Lost. This is a kind of Souls-inspired, I would say, open-world action RPG where you are taking on the role of the Curator, which is a mage. So imagine magic only, Souls-inspired, but then you have open-world mechanics, dungeons, kind of like a MMO style type setting as well. So this game is lots of fun. The dev actually reached out and asked if I was interested. The funny thing was I had already purchased the game and I was already looking into it, and now hopefully we'll be kind of showcasing the game in all its glory. It was created by a solo dev, so this is another thing that's just incredibly shocking. It's hard to believe, and when you see the quality of it, just how good it looks and how well it plays. But we'll be jumping into a few things. I'll be showcasing what I know. I have played extensively for the last few days. I'd say for the last 2-3 days, and I've covered quite a bit of ground, so hopefully this will be a bit of an introduction to the game, showing you guys the mechanics, and of course, sharing my knowledge and what I know about the game, and that way we can kind of jump into it together. So, anyways, we're going to get into the actual game itself. This is where it all happens. But anyways, really good thing about this game is that it does allow for quite a bit of versatility and variety in how you want to approach it, so it's pretty cool. We're going to go over different things, though. We've got voice acting, we've got, just the standard things you'd expect from a game that's not created by one person. And I will say, coming off of Inotria, the Lost Song, this game has not had a single game-breaking bug yet, which is really funny, because Inotria was a little different. But anyways, we're going to be starting a new game. I currently don't have any. I started a new profile, or a new game on a new profile, so that way it doesn't interfere, whatever. You can have up to 10 slots. So also the music, there are some bangers in the soundtrack, so just prepare for the best. Yeah, we're good. I'll go over everything that I know as we approach these different areas and stuff, but then first, let's see, I think I had, yeah, the music's fine. Yeah, I'm fine with all that. That's good. We're good. Let's just make sure. That song's cool, by the way. Boss theme for several enemies.
What do you want?
Yeah, we're good. Love it. Alright, we're good. We're good with those settings for now. There's a few other things we'll tweak, and I'll let you guys know what I suggest changing as a console player.
The ancients gifted 5 grimoires to the fledgling races, through which they attained great knowledge and power. But then the ancients vanished, never to be seen again. And the grimoires fell into the hands of the unjust. And the world fell into despair. Then, in the wake of the chaos of 47 realms, 5 great lords rose to power, each emboldened by the possession of a grimoire, and each known for a great and terrible crime. The Bishop Craglands, who defied death and awoke the Graven. The reviled Spectre, who unveiled the secrets of Arcana infusion. Mesmeron, who shattered the walls between realms.
I got a story about that guy.
Helberoth, consumer of flames, lord of the deep, father of demons. and Alestra, Queen of Light, who stole the sun itself from the sky. But there are yet those who wander from the midnight haze. Those tasked with reclaiming the grimoires.
So that was essentially the introduction
to the great library from whence
to
they can be
the
used
5
in
major
moderation
bosses
once again.
of this game. It also introduces us to our mission as the curators.
Just as it was
As the curator.
in times long since.
So as the curator, we need to obtain the 5 grimoires and return them to the library, which is going to serve as our hub world. But anyways, let's continue watching this little cutscene here. I'll show you guys the introductory area. Again, this game is fun. I've truly enjoyed it. And I've skipped around a bit and covered quite a bit of ground, and I've seen some really awesome things that I was like, wow, this is pretty impressive. We got different voice actors, some of which are streamers. I recognize Lobo, so I thought that was pretty funny because we just talked about him the other day. Kind of interesting. One of these days, we can get my voice in one of these games. It's always been a thing of mine since the Legacy of Kain series, actually. I got really interested in voice acting at that time. Codex Lost, everyone. Alright, so we're going to then see our character. There is no character creation, so to speak. You are the curator. It's a preset character. But before we even jump into that, you are given the option to select several spells. You have to choose one of each type. So basic is going to be a spell that is very close range, and it doesn't cost any mana to use. This is something that's incredibly important because you're going to be having to manage your stamina consumption and usage as you go through open world areas, as you go through dungeons, and sometimes up until the time where you're able to at least replenish your mana, it's going to be very difficult to do that. So it's this spell, your basic spell, kind of acts like a short range combustion if you're, if you want to compare it to a Souls-like. So it's something that's going to be up close and personal, and it doesn't use mana, so you can do it infinitely. The AoE spells are going to be obviously like area of effect spells that either attack enemies grouped together or enemies around you. It just depends on the type. And then range is kind of be like your typical like fireball or whatever, right? When you're hurling something at an enemy, it's just a projectile. Depending on the type or the element, it can be one that kind of has some tracking or one that just fires straight, and you just have to kind of position yourself strategically to make sure you actually hit your target. So I'm going to play differently from what I did in my first playthrough. My first playthrough is not even complete. I only have 2 of the 5 grimoires, but I skipped the second so I could go to the 3rd boss so I could see certain areas because I was just kind of interested in my exploration and I didn't want to stop, so I didn't turn back. So I'm going to play differently than I did in that file that I currently have. That file is going to be kind of like my experimental file. This one's just going to be where I'm showcasing things for you, and we'll probably end up beating the game on my off-stream file before this one. So this can kind of be like an educational kind of walkthrough as we go through it, because everything that you're going to see today I know pretty well. So we'll be going over those different mechanics, the different areas, and I'll explain to the best of my ability what I'm able to. I would strongly suggest, like when it comes to arcane, this is a balanced element. It deals decent amount of damage. Few are resistant to it, few are weak to it, as you can see in the description. So it's pretty well balanced, right? I don't really use arcane very much in my particular it's just not really my style. I like to do either high damage or really play on the weaknesses. There's a lot of elemental weaknesses at play, and just understanding those can really turn the tide of any fight. So I do enjoy having fire as the basic kind of combustion spell, the one that you can use infinitely. It's pretty important. We'll be getting some more abilities along the way though, but arcane, fire, lightning, and ice are not the only classes of spell. There's geomancies, there's dark magic, light magic, there's all kinds of different magics that you'll be experiencing along the way, even poison. So we'll be using this. You know, for the AoE, I initially chose this, but I was a little disappointed in it because I thought it was going to be like knives shooting out around me. It actually tracks an enemy, or, you know, it goes in a straight line, and it was something that I had a hard time hitting enemies with because they do move around quite a bit. So this could be something we experiment with. Let's see here. What I did in my first play, I had this, and then I had the lightning ranged spell, and then I had the ice AoE. But I think I'm going to do that a little differently. Maybe we're going to have the lightning AoE. I don't know, we'll try something like that. Or maybe even this, arcane AoE. Again, very well balanced, so we could do that. Maybe we do this. And the ice projector, see, I don't really want to go that route. Let me see. Let's think through this. I don't want to confirm that. We're going to do it way different than I had before. Ease the unbalanced foes. There's so many enemies that are undead, so like fire does a lot of damage. I do want a fire projectile though, because I realized that that's something that I was lacking. We'll go with this. Basic balanced arcane for the basics of combustion spell, ranged fire, and then lightning AoE. This is completely different from what I had, but I think I like it. I like it. And I'll show you guys exactly how it all works. So again, the game looks beautiful. This is the Curator, the player character. You can do a handful of things here. First thing we're going to do is go into the settings. As a controller player, you probably want to up the cursor sensitivity, otherwise it can be dragging along, so it goes pretty high, so you can move it around a lot faster. This all seems good, so we're good there. Camera follow, I think I had the camera follow at 1, if I'm not mistaken. Alright. So we are all good there. So from a menu perspective, you have your stats, which just gives you an idea of your levels. You start off at level 1, 10 all across the board, so vitality, endurance, intelligence, willpower, and memory. Vitality is, of course, health, and it does do a really good job of just explaining right off to the side what it does. And by leveling or increasing the level, it tells you what the effect is. You don't have to guess. So vitality is health. Every time you level it up, you get 20 more health. Endurance is, of course, your stamina. Every time you level it up, you get 20 more stamina. Intelligence is kind of like your mana pool, like how much mana you have. Same thing there, 20 points additional every time you level up. Willpower is your magic damage, and it increases by 1% for every point that you put in here. I'll be honest with you, on my other file, I don't have any points into willpower, and I'm still completely demolishing enemies, and that just has to do with your knowledge of the weakness and using the different elements effectively. You don't necessarily have to pump willpower to deal any kind of damage. Memory is similar to your attunement slots, if you're going to consider it or compare it to a Souls-like. Your memory is going to be where you have more slots, so you can actually load up more spells. So when you're going out on your open world quests or you're exploring dungeons, you can slot them out accordingly. It starts out at 10, which just means you have 3 slots, but every 3 points you pump into memory, you're going to be able to gain a new slot for spells for a maximum of 10. So I only have, I think, about 6 slots right now, and that's been pretty almost more than I need, to be honest. But it is nice to have some, just in case you're facing off with an enemy that you didn't prepare for from an elemental perspective, or if you need something for dungeon delving, like good lighting, things like that. So pretty cool. But anyways, health, stamina, mana, spell slots 3. Arcana is going to be your currency or your experience that's going to be used to purchase things, also to level. And then this just tells you how much Arcana you need to level up. The equipment, pretty easy. You got different staves or staves you can use. Mantles are the gear you can wear in different colors, provide different protection, different poise, different weights. The tools, you have 2 tools from the start actually. You have a shield, which you can use to parry or just hold it and shield and just protect yourself, or a compass, which is kind of a way you can interact with different orbs, different objects in the environment. This is incredibly important much later on for ease of access to traversal and things like that. And every time you pick up a new tool or compass tool, you can go to this exact menu here, and you'll see a new description. So a few things we can do with it already. Charms are passive effects. Talismans also have passive effects. So you can have charms like rings that increase defense or increase stagger damage. Talismans can help nullify elemental damage, for example. And then you have 3 item slots. Item slots are going to be for your consumables, some of which are offensive and some of which are just for health or healing. your spell book, once you're in the library, you can assign spells. There are several ways to do it outside of the library, but those do require items. So if you're looking at your spells, essentially each of these columns here is going to be designated for a different type of element. These are the 10 slots that we could unlock, and these 3 right here are the ones we currently have equipped. There's ways to cast, and we'll go over that in due time, but there are ways to cast on the controller that allow you to switch between them without having to toggle between the different spells. So understanding the first 4 slots and what quick or hotkey they're associated with is pretty important if you want to kick some ass major, especially if there's different types of enemies you're facing off with at once. But anyways, you would just click this and you could say, oh, I want to switch it out for fireball instead, right? But anyway, it just depends on what you want to do there. And there you go. There we have it. So that's the kind of the beginning. The crystal in the bottom right is going to be our replenishable heal, and then we can toggle up or down to go through our different spells. So we have Arcane Pulse, which is basic. We have the AoE Thunderbolt and the Projectile Fireball. This again is different from what I am doing in my other file. Also, I'm going to remove myself for one moment. This right here is the shield on the bottom left that was right behind me. This right here is the compass. You can toggle between the two. So the shield, you can just activate by holding L1 on the PlayStation 5 controller, or if you do it at the right moment, you can parry. The shield allows you to then interact with different items depending on what is available. You know, this, for example, is going to be something we would interact with much later on. It's like a fishing type mini game. We can't interact with that right now since we don't have the right compass tools, but that's how it works. I'm going to bring myself back because why not? There are messages on the floor that are dev messages, so you can still, hold circle to run. Lovely. This is all good. Game menu we just experienced. This will be a dungeon, or at least part of a dungeon that we'll be interacting with much later. So pretty cool little area. One of my favorite areas in the entire game. And then this tells you to attack. So we're going to press R1 to attack when we're using our Arcane Pulse. The really cool thing about this game is that you can swap out your spells at any time. You're not married to any one style, so it's really nice. So there we have a few pathways opening up. These are actually going to be items that we cannot interact with just yet. We will be able to interact with these a little bit later on once we get the appropriate compass tool. But just remember these for later. Again, each of these rooms is going to have one of these little tablets that, as of yet, we can't interact with. So you can switch between the compass and the shield, as I've shown you. And the shield does provide a little bit of light, but it's not really the best. There are much, much better ways to provide light. Very magey kind of ways to do it. We get another tablet here that we can't interact with just yet. Eternal cores, and you're going to see different things like that we're picking up along the way. Ice crystals. Those are materials that you can use to craft spells. So most of the items and loot you pick up are either going to be spell recipes, or ingredients for spells, or they're going to be consumable items that you can use to help you along the way. So this is the library, right there where all that glowing stuff is. That's where we're going to end up. But we want to search this area first because there's tons of free goodies all over the place. So you get dark crystals and things like that. A lot of these you're going to definitely want early on because we're going to want to unlock some very specific skills pretty early on so we can deal some damage to some of the more powerful enemies. We're going to be, since I've played through the beginning of this, I certainly want to at least get pretty far in terms of the distance. So here we have a recipe for Mage Light. Mage Light is going to be very critical to dungeon delving in this game, so something that we're certainly going to want to take into consideration. Here you have another one of those tablets we can't interact with just yet. And this is the kind of the resting place of the 5 grimoires that we're going to be returning. After you defeat each of the bosses, the grimoires will go to their appropriate place. I currently have 1 and 3. 2 I'm actually on my way to get, but this is how you translocate, which means how you warp between different areas. We're currently in the library. The first area we could go to is the Penal village, which we'll be exploring here before long. Every time you see a big purple portal, it'll be added to your translocation menu, so you'll be able to continue exploring along the way. This is how you infuse Arcana, which is fancy for just leveling up. You can just pump points into whatever attribute or trait you want, and then say you're running short on Arcana, you don't have enough Arcana, you can see your Halcyons, which are your consumable Arcana, and you could consume them right here on the fly. So say you have a few saved up, you could consume them, you have enough Arcana now you can go ahead and level. So pretty nifty little thing here. This is a memory font. Memory fonts are pretty much like warp points that only work they're one-way warp points. So if you say that you're exploring the outer world here, the open world, and you go into this area that's very difficult, but you're like, well, you know what, I might die, and you see a font there, you might want to activate that, because if you die, yes, you would return to the library, but you could then easily just come back here and you're right back where you left off. So the memory fonts are one-way kind of warp points, and just keep in mind that you can only have one active at a time. So everything about this game does require you to either commit or strategically retreat. So it's really cool. Cosmic says, hey, I beat some spider in Dark Souls 2 and reached skeleton boss also today buying Sekiro. Nice. I definitely need, I have Sekiro, I haven't played it yet though, only a few minutes, but definitely something I'll be considering playing on stream for you guys very shortly. This right here is the table where we learn spellcrafting. So each of the different magics, you can actually see the different types. You have Arcane, Pyromancy, Aeromancy, which is lightning, Cryomancy, which is ice, Venomancy, which is poison, Geomancy, which is rock. Geomancies are incredible, by the way. Divine magics, and then we also have dark magics. So the dark magics are very powerful, and I was running dark magics primarily, but we're going to change it up a little bit. So for this, if we look at the different items we have here, I want to craft Mage Light as soon as possible. So we see we need a spell catalyzer, wave stabilizer, holy crystals, anomalies, eternal cores, and lost relics. Lots of different materials that we just don't have yet, right? So that's something that we're definitely going to want to consider. As we get these different items, do we want to craft something that's going to help us quality of life wise or to deal damage? And then once you have the sufficient items, you can just craft them. If you have the items or you have the recipes, you can craft different spells along the way. But anyway, so now we're going to continue our little exploration of the library and grab all the free items that they've given us. There's a bunch of different pathways, and here's kind of a dev message explaining, shouldst thou have the required materials, thou shalt be able to craft a spell, even if thou lack the recipe. So this, like I said, as long as you have the materials, then you have the means to craft a spell. So along the way, we're going to pick up all these different items, keep grabbing all the goodies, but let's just make sure we go in a little circle here. There's different ways to, explore the world. This game is incredibly expansive, but it is interconnected in ways that you're like, oh, I didn't even think that would tie to this area. So it's something that many people will find overwhelming, but it's that sense as a completionist. It's kind of that sense of dread when you're like, oh my gosh, I'm in a new area, but there's 5 other pathways I can take. That really is a fun feeling, because you're like, I have to explore it all, right? And you certainly do get rewarded for that. This is a way out that we'll be experiencing a little bit later. Last time I checked, it should be locked, but we're not going to go out there yet, because that would kind of break the how quickly I'd get there. I'd rather get there like kind of a different pathway anyways. American McGee says Donkey Kong 2. You got this. I think it's an emoji, but it like spells out the name of the emoji, so it's really funny. Alright. And now we're going to go back here from the entrance. There's just so many free items you can pick up. It'd be a shame to not get them, because these are going to be very, very much needed whenever we go to start crafting different spells. Alright, so here we have this, a magic binding, and then we'll have some, I think, weaponry or something up here. Storm crystal and weaponry. Again, these are all ingredients. Don't mistake them for actual weapons that you can use. We are the Curator, so we're going to resort to only using, spellcraft, mage stuff. Alright, good. So now we have a bunch more items. First things first, I say that we go ahead and go to the Penal village. This is where everything starts off, and this is where we're going to see if the choices that we made for the spells were good ones or not. So, alright, so we're in the Forsaken Penal Village, which is a grade 1 dungeon. I think currently the highest I've gone is to level 5 in my other file. So this is another way to scroll through the spells. You can either go up or down, actually. And then if you need to, for example, do like a quick change, you could always do, something like that. That's going to be our range spell. So I'm holding L2 and then square now to switch versus doing up and down different ways. So I don't know. I think it's a great little thing to quickly swap between spells. But anyways, we're going to continue on. Know that there are illusory walls as well. Although I would consider this definitely a Souls-inspired game. There's tons of Souls things. You're gonna be, oh my gosh, this came from this came, absolutely, and that's intended. The only thing I would say is, I think this game's great. I think that people will have a hard time adjusting to the combat, because it's not your traditional Souls-like combat. It's more kind of has like that MMO weight of things. Like when you're doing strikes or getting hit, the weight of the contact of the strike can be a little like, it's not as, you don't feel it as much, right? So it's going to be more like MMO type feel. But you got the open world areas, you have the dungeons, the dungeon bosses as well. So it's pretty interesting. Beware of the elemental affinity. These foes resist fire, but are weak to lightning. So we do have lightning, fortunately. McGee says, this is a mysterious game, huh? It looks pretty good visually, especially for a solo dev. I'll need to see the combat before I make a decision to buy. Oh, I just talked about the combat. Yeah, the combat is the one thing that you just need to adjust to. It is purely mage-like combat, right? These are enemies, but just so you know, you don't have to defeat them. They're just they can act as pylons or lights, so there's really no need to hurt them. So if you dodge, you can get to different areas that would normally be a little more difficult to get to, platforming wise anyways. This is how you lock on to targets, and it's going to say attack. So let's see. Oh yeah, that's good. That's not bad damage at all. The primary spell costs no mana to cast. McGee says, yeah, I sent that message just before you started talking about the combat. Great minds think alike. Now, Driven is a specific consumable item, or just a specific material, I should say, that helps level up your staves, or your staves. So if you are trying to level up your stave, or your staff, sorry, you can obtain Driven, and there's a certain amount of Driven needed to upgrade it each time, so... Alright, let's try and get the parry going. There you go, that's a parry. So the close range combat is something like that. You want to stagger the enemies, take them out pretty quickly. We'll do some ranged combat here in a little bit, but since we're in close quarters, we're going to be resorting to our close range abilities. Arcane Crystal and Storm Crystal, let's drop down. Here we have Blood Mushrooms. If you had taken damage, you can consume the blood mushrooms to replenish a little bit of health. Water mushrooms replenish mana. And there's green mushrooms, and they heal ailments. So here we're going to open up a shortcut. If you recognize this is the portal we just entered from. So now we've opened up the shortcut. There's going to be a lot of interconnectivity across these different levels, and it's going to be incredibly expansive. So you'll get overwhelmed at first, I would say. But then you're going to be like, oh wow, this is amazing. So let's talk with Hordigan. This is the first of 3 areas we're going to need to meet him to complete his quest line. So
You can't be serious. You're a curator, aren't you? You've got a lot of nerve showing your beak around here, mate. After what you've done. You bloody coward. 100 years and not a curator in sight. Where have you been all this time? Well, it's unconscionable. A betrayal of trust. And you know what, mate? That makes me culpable. Don't play coy with me, buddy. You've no idea what I've had to put up with. It's all going to pot, mate. And it's us crows that get it in the nick. Straight up discrimination is what it's all down to. Who's to blame for the failure of one crow? Every other crow, that too.
That's too funny. And guys, Free Mana Game Studio is the dev, and he just joined the chat. Welcome him in, everybody. Free Mana says, hey Inhuman, hey chat, what's going on? How are you doing today? Oh, Free Man, I got a bone to pick with you, man. I hope you got my message on Twitter. That was too funny. That particular encounter I was talking about. My gosh. Anyways, we just started the game, Free Mana, and we are we just covered all the basics, went over the library, and now we're just speaking with Hordigan. Again, the voice acting in this game is pretty solid too.
Of course, the owls have
Lots of great talent.
You're just trying to wind me up, ain't you, pal? I won't stand for this nonsense. Go on, get lost.
All right, sweet. So, as per usual, you got to make sure you exhaust the dialogue, right? So, this is one of 3 locations that you'll be speaking with Hordigan to complete his quest line, or his part of a much larger quest line. It's really important, though, so you definitely want to know that. Free Menaces, I just saw it, very funny. Yeah. Last night, I was like, okay, I see what you did there, buddy. It was funny. That was an experience, to say the least. But I did come out on top, despite all of those setbacks. Now I need to go back and go for the second grimoire, because I skipped ahead and I did 1 and then 3, but because I was just so intrigued by the area. But anyways, let's see. When thy foe lies defeated, then shalt thou regain a small fragment of mana. That is Old English for if you kill an enemy, you get a little bit of mana. So defeating enemies by using the right spells can help you actually continue your fight a little bit longer if you don't have any consumable items that help replenish it along the way. So, all right, we're using a different set of spells than what I have in my other file. So this is going to be important to kind of experience and kind of check it out, experiment with along the way. So triangle is a consumable item. We don't have anything slotted right now, but if we wanted to slot something into, we have 3 item slots. So right now we don't have anything. It says none on the bottom right. Not souls adjacent with a talking animal. it wouldn't be, right, without a talking animal. This is totally Souls inspired, I would say, without a doubt. There's so many things you're going to see. Mechanics and also kind of like world type building things along the way that are very reminiscent of a Souls-like. But the only thing is, and because I am in love with this game, and it's not even anything because the devs here, I was already telling you this days before, but it's just a lot. It has a lot working for it. It's got a lot of different systems that are working together as well in such a way that it's really enjoyable to kind of figure them out. It doesn't hold your hand by any means. So, someone like me, a completionist at heart, is going to definitely want to figure out all these secrets. This is going to be a lift that we're going to access a little bit later on. But we're getting pelted with arrows from above. But yeah, this is a fun game. The only thing that would take some getting used to for avid Souls-like players is going to be the combat, understanding how the rhythm of it works, and then once you get it, you're good. So if you get burned, just like in real life, you're going to take greater damage. So we need to make sure we don't get burned, right? Oh, that didn't work. There you go. And we'll just go up there and whap them in the head. I like to finish them off with without having to expend all the mana, if possible, so that you can just get some back. We got to be careful because there's ambushes like crazy along the way. So we also need to make sure we're grabbing all the different items and ingredients. This will help us for crafting spells. In my other file, I crafted a very specific series of spells because I was trying to make sure I was equipped for most different types of encounters, and it worked out really nicely. So something that I definitely want to replicate in this one, but I do want to use different spells here. We just parried the ass off of that guy, but he's dead. I didn't use any arcane or arcane magic in my other file. I haven't used one bit of arcane. Free Menace says, now I have to go and make dinner, but I'll be back after if you still go. Oh, for sure. I'll be going for a few hours. Enjoy your dinner. You can actually parry that if you had better timing. Free Mana, thanks for stopping by. But yeah, I'll be on for a while. Several hours, actually. So hope to see you back again. Alright, so here we have another dev message. It shows thou parrying attacked, spent mana will be recovered by a small amount. So by killing an enemy, you get a little bit more mana. By parrying, you get a little bit more, you get more health. My mistake. If you kill an enemy, you get a little bit more mana. And if you parry, you actually get a little bit more mana as well. So it's just a number of different ways to passively get mana. Impulse factor, it's just going to be more crafting material, so we're all good there. Ooh, I can't believe I missed this. What was I thinking? A fire crystal. So we're going to go up this way, come back around, and then we already took out these two enemies up here. There's tons of items, and this game does reward exploration like nobody's business, so you definitely want to explore everything you can. So there's a good parry right there. Huge fireball. It's got nice splash damage to it as well, so... I got tagged right in the face there. Let's see if I can parry this, though. Parry! Okay, there you go. Oh gosh, we parried him too. We're going to parry everybody today. How's that? We'll be circling around just a moment, but there are more baddies right over here. There you go, that's the stuff. And then we'll just throw one more fireball at his head, because why not? For posterity's sake. Now we're going to come up here. Oh gosh. You. Let's see, that's going to be tricky because my spell has huge splash damage, so let me see if I can use the AoE strike. Yeah, that works. That works. Alright, let's grab this chest here. We're going to continue looting along the way. Bunch of different items there. Always check for illusory walls. There's so many in this game, and they often lead to really nice surprises. You do want to keep certain types of spells on hand as well, because some are going to offer you the ability to break through areas that otherwise would be inaccessible. So here we can just dash across. Got the magic binding, more ingredients. We're going to run past, make sure we don't die here. Don't get sniped. So this guy is... oh gosh. Yeah, we'll just get him on the way back. On the way up, I mean. Alright. Oh, I missed this item, didn't I? Darn it. Let me go grab that real quick. There you go. Ointment. That's a consumable item. I'll show you guys what those are for. Ointments, I think, if I'm not mistaken, cure burns. So once we grab this item up here, we're going to double check. I'll show you guys how to access all these as well along the way. But we got some more Drithen. That is an upgrade material for our staff. But here we have, you can go to inventory and look at all your consumables. So the ointment does cure burns. You could slot those into your item slots if you needed to. We have blood splinters. Halcyons are consumable arcane items that we can use for leveling, and then vitality crystal. That's just our heals. Key items, we don't have any, but then again you can just continue going down the pathway. But we're good. We don't need to necessarily have anything equipped just yet. I am going to heal. There's going to be some enemies over here that I need to take out. Okay, what should we do with this guy? Ow. Okay. He's dead. He's totally dead right now. So this right here, if you have the right type of spell, like you need fire, for example, to break through these, I don't know, those vines, you can then get a Halcyon 5 and a Demon Eyeball. So there's different things you can get based on, the spells you're using, and certain things can be accessible while others aren't, so you gotta kind of balance it out. The first time I played, the rats killed me, and because they scared the hell out of me. Again, I don't like rats. Fortunately, these rats are smooth. They're not like disgusting looking like bloodborne rats, so I was able to tolerate it. But yeah, it scared the hell out of me. My first death was to rats, which is fitting. Very fitting. We're gonna come up this way now. And there's going to be an ambush here. You think that, oh, there's a freebie, a free kill, but there's not. There you go. Shayla says, hey, what's going on, Shayla? You just missed the dev. The dev actually stopped by for this game. He's making dinner now, but he might come back. He stopped by. He's the one that actually made this game. Solo dev created this entire experience. It's been a lot of fun. I've been going back and forth with him on Twitter, letting him know, I'm like, man, some of these things you put together. are absolutely insane. Let's see. I can do fire too. Parry. We parried all those. Okay, so blood splinter. That's a satisfying parry noise as well. You always gotta have that. How are you liking this? I am loving this. I started a new game for you guys, but I myself have progressed a little bit further than this, and I'm having an absolute blast with it. This is gonna be a tough situation for me right here because there's all kinds of ranged bros. Hello. I need mana. Give me the mana. Yeah, I don't have enough mana to cast right now. But as we parry, we'll be able to get more. Also, if I kill this enemy over here, I'll get some back, so that's going to be good. But yeah, I'm actually really enjoying this game a lot. The exploration is top notch. I mean, it's just incredible. Some of the boss fights, I've gotten to the third boss, even though I shouldn't have, but I got to the third boss and defeated him, and my gosh, like it is, that whole experience was insane. There's different bosses based on the souls that they've, based on the grimoires that they've stolen. Much like the Lord Souls, you have different enemies that have obtained grimoires. We're the Curator, so our job is to return said grimoires. But long story short of it, some of these bosses are just incredible because of the way they're designed, and it's not just a simple, hey, cast and stand and strafe. It's much different than that. So it's been a lot of fun. I've been really enjoying this game. I just used the last heal on accident. That was not a good idea. I parried that. That's awesome. I take it the parry nullifies damage. It sure does. The parry nullifies damage and also gives you back a little bit of mana. So you're then able to get some mana back. Oh no, okay, I just feeling. Mana is then allows you to cast your magics. Magics cost stamina and mana, just so you know. So you have to be mindful. Is this a spell that costs a ton of mana, so I can't be dodging around like crazy while I'm casting, or is this a different type, you know? And you'll get used to it along the way, the different types. But yeah, parrying is incredible. It's incredibly satisfying, feels good. It's incredibly responsive too, so that is really nice. Alright, good. So we don't have any heals, unfortunately. Here you have kind of like diverging pathways. So you got this bro over here, which we should be able to take out. Yeah, he's powerful though, for no reason. Die! Okay, that was scary. That guy moves like crazy fast. So we got a recipe for a new spell called Toxic Flux. We'll grab some more upgrade materials, or actually not upgrade materials, crafting materials for spells. But yeah, Shayla, I'm actually really enjoying this game. This is a game that I wasn't expecting, but somehow it's just been one that has consumed a lot of my free time. It's been a lot of fun. Exploring the worlds, learning the different spells, figuring out all the puzzles along the way. It's been fantastic. So here we picked up our first staff. If you go to equipment, you can then take a look at it, and you'll see here that each of the staves, or staves actually is the correct term, they have different modifiers. So currently our Curator staff is just 0 all the way across, but it's going to be one of the most balanced. So every time you level it up, grade 1 would give us plus 10 in every single one of those elemental schools. And the common resonator, for example, is not going to necessarily do a lot of damage in fire, ice, poison, or earth, but it will favor arcane, lightning, holy, and dark. So something to definitely consider as you're trying to figure out which staff you want to use. You can change the staffs at any point in time, so you're not going to be married to one or committed to one throughout a playthrough. It's something that you can simply change by just going here, going into your menu, and now you have that other one equipped. So that's all. But it is nice to know which one you're going to want to favor and invest in for sure. So again, this is another way, it's just telling you to switch between your shield or your compass. Another little reminder. We opened up this little pathway here. This is the lift. The lift that took us down. Remember I said we'll be opening up a shortcut, and that is the lift right there. if we are poisoned, we'll take damage over time, which is not good. Actually, we don't want to take damage over time. I don't want to take any damage, actually. I don't have any health. So we're going to take this fight kind of slowly. Prismatic bait. There is a fishing kind of mini game that we're going to be seeing at some point in the near future. It's a lot of fun, and it's a way to obtain a secret item. There's so many secrets in this game, in fact, that I have a feeling that there's going to be a few things that don't get discovered. But I've done my best to figure out the best of them and what I could do. And I'm going to hopefully share and showcase that with you guys. We got the jailbreak achievement. Okay, memory font save thy location. Only one can be active at a time. So these are the memory fonts I was talking about. If we were to die, we'd always go back to the library upon death. But we now have a memory font activated, so we could activate the font at the library and we'd appear right here instead. We would not have to go and traverse through the entire area all over again. So, Blind Playthrough says, hey all, what's going on? But yeah, Shayla, I'm loving this game. I'm having so much fun with it right now. I was really excited to showcase it with you guys as well. But Amber Float Stones are kind of like prism stones, as you know, they help you kind of guide your way, so to speak. This is an NPC we've seen several times, or we're going to see several times in our playthrough. I don't know to trust him or not, funny enough. Like, I don't trust anybody in real life, so I certainly can't trust this guy looks cooler than me.
What's this? Sky-tinted eyes?
Magranthumolusus.
I wonder, have they felt it yet? That unshakable sifting of confusion? The torrents of unknowing? Ah, yes.
Blind Playthrough says, I'm having a blast with this one as well. Good, good. Yeah, this is my... I started a new file for you guys, but on my other file, I'll show you guys at the end of the stream.
Yes.
It is, I'm having an absolute blast. It's just an amazing experience.
For 100 years it has dreamt of this very moment. For all that time it has been...
This game's patches. It might be. Almost at the end, I believe. Cool. No spoilers, though, okay? No spoilers for the chat, or myself, please. But that's awesome.
But behold, this vellum intervention. Deprived of the grimoires for so long, the library...
Lots of dialogue in this game, too. It's going to not only give you ideas about where to go next, but it's world building, also kind of gives you hints on certain quests, so it is important to pay attention to what they say to an extent. I mean, they do like to go on, but I love the lore and the dialogue, so it's fun.
After all, the will of the ancients be done.
We're going to see him multiple times throughout our playthrough, and I don't know, he's an interesting character.
They vanished into the sunless sky, their eternal gaze now set to watch across the realm of their progeny, for hints as to the course of its fate. Since the time of their ascension, many servants have been called, one after the other, to become Curator. Alas, only very few have joined the ascent. The rest remain here alongside, but no longer joined to their forsaken duties. You are an honest inquirer, and I wish I could tell you further of the realities that lie beyond your present inquiries, but as yet, I cannot. At least for now. The world has many futures, Curator. Some are inevitable, others are countermanded by the protections of knowledge offered by those pages of antiquity. But those same pages become litanies of destruction in the hands of those who would call themselves lords, and it is against them that you pit your deathless duty. Quite literally in your case. But let us not talk of duty just yet. For now, allow me to offer some small measure of assistance.
Please, please do.
Word of your arrival will spread fast. Some may offer their friendship to you, but in the final tally, there will be very few who will not come to view you as their enemy.
Even you, Magron? See, I don't trust him.
Those who still favor the old ways may be trusted more readily. For now, I can only direct you to an ally worthy of earning your trust. Seek out the Craglands and the courtyard beyond the Tower of Light.
And that's precisely where we'll be heading next in due time.
There you will be able to count for yourself the earnestness of this individual who will not fail to present you a compelling purpose of cooperation. You would be advised to accept it. This world is cruel to those who venture alone unto its frayed edges.
And we'll certainly be speaking with this NPC. Blind Playthrough says, I forgot where Magron told me to go, got to exploring, found him somewhere else, and he was upset I didn't go where he told me to go. He's like, what? Why didn't you do this? McGee says, decent voice acting also. I've only seen one thing that kind of annoys me, and that's saying something since I'm very easily annoyed. But yeah, go share. I mean, share your... This is a place for you to share your opinions. I mean, they're not always going to be agreed with or whatever, but it's fine. That's the whole point, right? This is a safe place to express yourself. There's going to be things that I say I like or don't like that you guys might not agree with, and that's fine. Shouldst thou parry an attack, accumulated elements will be reduced by a small amount. Later on, there's going to be some synergies to parrying that are really, really helpful as well. Let's grab some heals because we are donked up right now. I know exactly who this guy reminds me of. Vade. Oh my gosh, you're right. Even the voice, right? He does sound like Vade. In open world zones, running costs no stamina. So we're currently in an open world zone. There's going to be some powerful enemies over here. We don't want to mess with the fox mama. She will kick our butt. That right there is like a crystal lizard. It's the crystal lizard equivalent of this game, and they typically drop Drithen, which are staff upgrade materials. But we cannot go there now because if we... Oh, you know what? It doesn't matter. Because if we die... Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And the crystal lizards in this game, they're just as trolly as any other. Yeah, I'm dead. So I got killed by the fox. But guess what? This is a perfect example to show you guys how the mechanic works, right? So... if we just go here, we're going straight to that memory font. But let's see if there's any spells we can learn really quickly. Learning spells is, of course, free. Blind Playthrough says, yes, Vade definitely almost sounds like him, too. McGee says, just the running. Seems very floaty, as if the character is a few inches off the ground, but that's pretty common with Unreal Engine. Oh, yeah, that's... You feel the weight, though. When you're running, the weight feels great. Walking versus running, the weight feels just fine. You have full control of the character's mobility as well. So, yeah, you'll get over that. But that's just a visual type thing. A lot of people are going to be picky about little things like that, but those things don't really bother me. Let's see here. I still don't have enough. I need a bunch more holy crystals, and yeah, I need a lot of stuff. Anomalies we can pick up. I'll show you guys how to craft and how to get anomalies and a lost relic. We're going to be picking a lost relic here soon too. So, all right, we did lose like 1900. Arcane, which is of course our upgrade material and experience, but we'll get it right back. So Magron's left. If you kill these little foxes, for example, they typically drop anomalies. So any little creature is going to drop an... Oh my gosh, I forgot about you guys. So, like I said, it's very like MMO style fighting, right? Like, it reminds me of ESO as a crafter, as a healer. I mean, I'm a caster, my bad. Can't speak. So these guys are now burned, so they're going to take more damage. We can go in and use Arcane. So again, really nice little thing to do there. I'm going to go back this way so I can pick up my souls, my Arcane. But yeah, it makes sense, McGee. I definitely understand that. But no, it feels good. The weight feels pretty solid, actually, if you... If... I don't want to die. Oh my gosh, I'm going to die. I'm dead. Yeah, so in my other file, I was able to completely melt this enemy. The spells that you use are obviously going to have affinities or weaknesses towards other enemies, so you're going to have to make sure you're picking the right ones. But it's fine. We're going to just practice, and we're going to get this enemy, figure out what's best. Why? Oh, hold on. What is my spell book? Oh, whoops. I was using the wrong button. That's why. Give me some anomalies. And yeah, as we pick up more anomalies, that's just going to be materials for us to use for crafting. So, B says, hi, oh, what's up, B? How are you doing, man? Hope you're doing great. Oh my god, how do I keep forgetting this? And this area by no means is hard. That little fox shouldn't be very difficult either, but it's because of the spells that I currently have equipped. It does make a difference. It's really funny because the spells certainly make a difference in the enemies that you're using them against. And go for the kill. There you go. Blind says, it took me a while to figure out those were crystal lizards because I tried killing one early on. Didn't appear to take much damage. Left them alone, then had to feel like... Yeah, they're pretty cool, though. These things are the crystal lizards of this game. If I can trap them here, that'd be so much nicer. They move around so much, too. Please die! I don't have a good long-range spell, that's the problem. That is not what I was aiming at, but that's fine. Kill the little babies. Lightning takes up tons of damage. Oh! No. Of course, it's very resistant to arcane magic because it's also a caster of the arcanes. So this is just not ideal. Oh no. Oh no. But yeah, we're gonna just do this anyways. Just gonna muscle through it. Okay. All that for nothing. Well, we did get a few arcane out of that. Alright, Matthias says, shite, I'm late again. How much have I missed? You have missed... Ooh, almost an hour. But I've been talking through much of it, explaining everything along the way. So nothing too crazy. But let's just remember, if you guys can remember, help me remember anyways, we do need to come back for this crystal lizard. The crystal lizard, man. Alright, so my weekend was fantastic. I was playing this game on my other file, and my gosh, I was having an absolute blast. I'm loving this game. Defending against attacks does not prevent status ailment accumulation. So even by holding block, if you get struck, it's not going to stop you from getting any kind of status effect like burnt or whatever else. So just so you know. Now this guy is actually incredibly strong to arcane, which sucks because he's weak to fire. But I just don't have tons of mana right now. I do not have tons of mana. This is not good. But I can parry you all day. Oh no! Okay. Or not. I cannot parry you all day. Never mind. Okay, so we're going to go back to the memory font, which is right over here. This is perfect, because now at least we beat the fox, so yay. We got our dignity back. We've retrieved our dignity. And... kill these little babies. Grab the anomalies. We need those for spells. And now if we come over here, this is going to be for magic. If you eat these mushrooms, replenishes magic along the way. Take out these guys real quick. Get in close. There you go. Now he's burned, so he's gonna take more damage. You can see by that little red aura. That is a fire aura. Alright, so we're gonna grab this. Now we can take this guy out much easier. I have the fire blast instead, so it's so much easier to take these guys out. I didn't realize how difficult enemies can be just by using the wrong type of spell. If they have an affinity against it, or if they have defense, you can feel the difference. It's a very palpable change. There you go. We got Bloodsmith. We got a new recipe, Super Toxin. That's a Venomancy. Blind says, I found pairing the basic Holy Spell to build up Stagger and knock over enemies, and then use the basic Poison Spell Super Effect. Cool. I have not used any Holy Spells at all. I've only used... well, everything but, pretty much. Everything but Holy. In terms of Holy Spells, the only thing I'm using is Mage Light. Mage Light is something we're going to craft as soon as we can. If you see this little beacon here, if you switch over to your compass, you can interact with it, and it shows you points of interest. So it's going to show you points of interest across the way. Now, I'm going to be very honest, it's still quite unclear for me. It could be points of interest for the grimoire locations or something else, but I have a hard time understanding where the hell to go using this. I know where to go in other ways, and there are other pathways I'm going to show you, but it kind of gives you a general sense of where to go, but it is not specific by any means, unless I'm just not understanding it correctly. But you don't really need that, just so you know. It's just kind of a cool thing to interact with. Let's continue on along our way here. Holy is really good. It's low damage, but lots of stagger. I prefer the geomancies. The geomancies are fantastic. So here we have a locked door. This is going to be opened up once we speak with a certain NPC, and then every single lodge like this is going to be associated with a guild, and we can interact with them for different purposes. There's going to be people that allow you to get different types of crystals, so you can exchange crystals. So if you want to craft certain types of magics or spells, there's different things you can do like that. There's a bank. There's a hunting lodge that gives you quests to hunt. And this right here, if you destroy, it just gives you a little bit of arcane. So find all of those and destroy them so you can get some arcane. Obviously really good against undead. Nice. Fire's not bad either against the undead, believe it or not. Just like in real life. Alright. Got him taken out. Now we grab the spell catalyzer. We'll be needing that. For enemies like this, if you can just use your basic, your primary spell, if you will, that's going to allow you to just build back up your mana. And that way you can continue casting for more difficult enemies along the way. So there's that damn crystal lizard. We're going to have to get that at some point. He's taunting me. Whoa! Oh, I didn't parry that? Let's see. Do you know if the dev has any plans on getting this on console? Yes, it is on console, McGee. I'm playing on the PlayStation 5 right now. I'm playing on the PlayStation 5 right now. And this game is literally only $20, guys. It's certainly worth $20. Like it's like $22, I think. It is certainly worth that. And it's currently has a discount as well until the 28th. So if you're interested, please go out and support. This is a solo dev made this, guys. And you can tell there's a lot of passion in it. One thing you guys are going to be so overwhelmed about is the vastness of the game. The interconnectivity of it all can really turn some people off, but as a completionist, it's a challenge to me, and it's one that I'm like, oh yeah, I accept the challenge. I want to find how all the worlds, or all the different open world areas connect, and all that good stuff. So it's just, to me, a really fun game that I've had an absolute blast with. I haven't put it down all weekend, so. Yeah, Geo is fantastic. Good stuff, says McGee. Oh, absolutely. Autocorrect's trolling you, blind. Autocorrect's making it. George. I know George. George is great. That's why I was like, who the hell's George? Oh, that's funny. Anyways, let's go grab this real quick, and we're going to continue our little loot haul over here. The chests can be hard to see, but you just need to, this is a game that requires you to really be observant, figure out different puzzles, do things like that, but it rewards exploration beyond anything you would imagine. The loot is fixed, so like the fixed loot drops, I mean not drops, but items are fixed. So like if the loot that we grab from the chest is going to be the same every single time. If you ever see like a loot item right there, and it's like a smaller variant of it, that just means that it's bait. And bait is used for the fishing minigame. Bait is the only thing that kind of randomly spawns in different areas, and it will respawn after each area is loaded back in. So, Matthias says, I'll be here lurking and glancing and listening, but I'm playing at Turn and Noctis right now, which is probably why I was late to the stream. No worries. Thank you so much for stopping by to support. That's all that matters, man. It's just the thought that counts. It's just the thought. Matthias is lurking from the abyss. What a creeper. I love it. So there's two pathways, just so you guys know. I want to kind of put it together for you guys, so I am familiar with the area, so I need to make sure that you understand it as well, though. So this is where the beacon was, where we fought those guys that were cooking. and the fox is just right over there. To the left is the guild lodge that we'll be interacting with. To the far right is a dungeon we're going to be going into, and then here is going to be the next area. So we're going to be going to the other side of this. It's the church Undercroft. This is actually a church. So this church is a grade 2 dungeon that we're going to be exploring here in due time. But before we do that, let's actually see if we can kill the crystal lizard guy. It's going to be hard to kill him just because my fireball doesn't have the same trajectory as another kind of spell would that I had that was shooting a little bit more straight. Okay. Get stuck. Okay, we're amazing at the game. Drithen 1. The Drithen, of course, is the upgrade material for the staves or the staves. This is the pathway we're going to be taking, but I do want to show you guys that there is a whole nother slew of items we can get along the way. Blind says exploration is great here. It's one of the big things I look for in a Souls-like. Yeah, I would definitely say this is at least Souls adjacent or Souls inspired. It's no, without a doubt, Souls inspired. But Souls adjacent for sure. The combat would be the only thing that's like people would argue that's not really Souls-like, but it feels a lot like an ESO, like an MMO, for example, from a combat perspective, as it pertains to the weight of getting hit and receiving hits. You know, that's how I feel it. It's like when you get hit, you're like, okay, let's see. I don't have the spells I normally use for this, bro. So let's see what we do here. Oh my gosh, okay. There you go, better. This dude is on one today. There you go, my bad, my bad. My spells are slotted in different areas too, and I have different spells from my other file that I've put like a few hours into. Just like, what am I doing? I forgot how to play. Alright, so we got some ice crystals. We can pick up the water mushrooms as well. We're going to have an archer over here. There you go. And a sword dude just on the other side, but we'll be taking him out in due time. Hello, give me an anomaly. Oh, blood splinter. Okay, I'll take that too. I'll take that too. Yeah, exploration's fantastic in this game. It's one of the things where you just feel like, oh my gosh, like, what's next? Like, oh my, it keeps going, and you're then having to manage, do I continue forward or do I retreat and come to fight another day? So this is the area we're going to be going into. Let's see if we can take out these little foxes. Give me those anomalies. Anomalies, and all I'm looking for at this point in time are just different materials. What we're going to be doing is fighting a goblin or two here in a little bit, and there's an item or two we can get. I'm going to show you guys both the pathways, and then we're going to pick the pathway that I would suggest taking first. Okay, lovely. Lovely, lovely. There's going to be another goblin to our right. Ow. No, sir, don't hit me again, please. No hit. There is a little hit feedback. It's just minimal, and you have a visual cue as well. But the hit feedback, you do because you do get staggered and stuff too. But it's just not as weighty as I am used to. You know, that's all, and that's what I meant by that. So it's like it takes a little adjusting. You're like, oh, okay. Here's a chest back here, fire crystal, and this is gonna be a door to the church that we can't open just yet. This will be something that we do reach a little bit later. It's locked right now. You do need the church key to open it, but it's really not necessary. You're going to find that there's so many ways to get to areas with or without the movement tech that's going to be introduced later on and things like that. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see. But this would be a path that would, if we go all the way down, we're going to have another crystal lizard. We have this enemy here, an archer, and then another one of those crystal dudes that really destroyed us earlier. Very good. And I'll go there because it is important to show you guys something. It's kind of going to lead us to a hub world. It's going to connect us to a translocation portal. And here we picked up our first charm, which is the momentum charm, and the recipe called scintillate. So if we go to our equipment, we can look at the charms. and this is going to help increase our stamina regen by 15%, which is pretty good, actually. Good take. Everyone's definition of a Souls-like varies. Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I think there are certain traits that make a Souls-like, like a true Souls-like, but there's going to be games that take some of those mechanics or features, and I think that's great. But not every game that has, you know, like enemies respawning upon checkpoints, resting as a Souls-like, people kind of overuse that term quite a bit, in my opinion. But I would say that in general, there's also no fall damage, just so you guys know. In general, the genre that Souls-like fits in, it's just hardcore action RPG. So whatever that means to you. Now, specifically, Souls-likes are going to have certain characteristics that make them Souls-likes, right? That you won't find in every other game. But yeah, I'd say this is hardcore Souls-inspired. This is definitely an open-world action RPG. So yeah, I mean, aside from the fact that you're stuck to the one type of combat, which is magic, I think that it's still very much like Souls adjacent at the very least. We're gonna grab that here, that item up there. But yeah, there is hit feedback, McGee, just not, you don't feel like the weight of it as you would expect, I think. At least I don't, right? Like the weight that I would normally expect from something like that. Oh gosh, I don't want to fight you right now. Ugh. Okay, good. Ivory hairpin. These are just more materials, nothing crazy. But we're going to go this way. Blind says, yep, I believe that too. I'm in the camp who thinks Sekiro is not Souls-like, for instance. Okay. See, there's a lot of different things that make a Souls-like, right? And a lot of people believe different things about it, and I think that's great. I love the differences in thought, and schools of thought, and all that. And I think part of that is what makes it so fun, you know? But all in all, I think the most important thing is just to say, hey, these are just games, a type of genre that we enjoy and we love, and that should bring us together as a community versus fighting about what kind of game it is, or if is it a true Souls-like or not, or whatever, you know? Okay, so here, this is the other way to get inside the church. I want to show you guys something about this particular area. First and foremost, grab this chest. Here we have, when using an anvil, staves can only be improved to a maximum of grade 3. So you can upgrade your own staves to +3 at this point. And we certainly will be doing that here shortly. So like, for example, if I want to upgrade my staff, we can do it right now to, that's now +1. So now everything has a +10 modifier to it. We're going to be picking up a lot more Drithen, which is the staff upgrade material. So we can translocate, we can rest and recover, or we could just go to the library. We're going to go to the library first so I can level, and then we're going to explore the rest of the area, and then come back to the church, because the church, if you noticed on the translocation menu, had a book next to it. That means that there's a grimoire in this particular area. So we'll be searching for it in due time. McGee said, yeah, I saw you take a club to the face from that crystal guy before and the character didn't flinch. Combat would use, yeah, combat could use a little bit more weight. I agree. That's the only thing that I think would turn off certain people. And then other people that are newer to the Souls, like, they're going to be like, oh, there's no map. It's too confusing. It's like, well, most Souls likes don't have maps or anything like that anyways. You have to figure out the areas, learn them, and that's part of the allure, in my opinion. But anyways, let's go. Let's level. We have not leveled yet. Normally, what I do is I don't have a single point in willpower, which would be our damage modifier. If you have knowledge of the different elements and the affinities to, you know, well, I would say the strengths and weaknesses of the enemies you're facing off with. If you know that, you're going to be dealing great damage. So I have nothing pumped into willpower, and I'm destroying enemies mid to late game. So I actually think it's nice to have another slot for your memory for attunement, and then vitality, and then eventually have enough intelligence so you can continue pumping spells. So you do want survivability. Let's see how much we have left. Let's just see how much we have. 8. Okay, 8 total. So no. So we could do 5 here, 3 here, and then 3 here. Well, actually, we could just do, because my math. If we do that, that at least has one, and then we're good there. Perfect. And if we can look at our halcyons, we can consume these. These are the consumable arcane items, and now we have even more, so we can continue leveling even further. So this is going to give us a fourth spell slot. Every 3 points you pump into memory increases your spell slots. This is just our max mana, and this is our max health. So perfect. I like that. I definitely want to be tanky because the enemies can deal massive amounts of damage. If you get surrounded, you're typically pretty much dead, so you want to make sure you can take some hits. Alright, so we're good there. Let's see what we can do in terms of spellcrafting. I really want to learn Mage Light as soon as possible. We don't have enough holy crystals yet. We need 4 more holy crystals. Yeah, we're lacking 4 holy crystals. Once we get those, we'll have Mage Light. Bleak Faith didn't have a map, and it was a blast figuring out that game. Blind, I would like to try Bleak Faith out, but I just haven't. It seems to be a little pricey, and it seems to be a little buggy as well, so that's something that I would like to have remedied before I, spend the time and money on that one. But when I was researching this game, I was like, this looks fantastic, and lo and behold, it actually is. It's actually really good. Oh, whoops, I went to the wrong area. I did not mean to do that. Damn it. Okay, we went to the memory font because I wasn't paying attention. I could have just transported to the church. So instead, we're just going to go the other pathway, so it's no difference. Oh, I forgot about you. I always forget about you guys. Ow. Come here. Come on. Now you're taking more damage. See, it's always nice to start off with a fire effect if you can, so you can rack up that damage. And they're gonna receive more damage. So even though Arcane doesn't necessarily deal a bunch of damage, it will when it's tied with a burned enemy, So there's a few areas where you'll find that bait spawns. It typically spawns in like fixed locations. I'd say an assigned number of like fixed locations. So for example, there could be like 3 locations and it's like, oh, bait might be here, for example. So it's always nice to take a look. But this is the area we're going to go to. Blind says Bleak Faith still has some jank, but trust it smiles better than it was a year and a half ago. I hope so. Alright, so this is really fun. If you don't have the Mage Light spell, some of the dungeons are nice enough to give you this right here. And this now has Mage Light activated for us for a little bit. And we can then use this. So we're going to actually tag this memory font right in here. This is important because if I were to die in the next coming area, I can just teleport right here and then we're ready for the battle. So there's going to be possibly some deaths because I'm using different spells than I'm accustomed to. There's going to be mines located everywhere as well. I'll show you guys what that looks like. You'll see I'll get blown up along the way, so I'm sure you'll see it. But this is where the actual progression is. This is where there's like a billion bombs. So these right here, as soon as they start kind of like shaking, that's when you want to block. My bad. So as soon as they start trembling, that's when you want to attack. If you don't have a visual, it's just you got to use the audio cue only. Shayla says the environment's beautiful. This whole game is beautiful. It just looks this good all the time. It's crazy. And there are areas that you guys are not even ready for yet. Like, I'm not even kidding. There's like some crazy Wizard of the Oz inspired place that it blew my mind. Enemies made of stone are immune to lightning. So that then tells you don't use stone on this guy, right? Now we got to say, what is he weak to? Stone enemies are typically weak to ice or dark, but I don't have any of those spells, right? So we're going to have to use our combination of fireballs and our arcane magic. So I just used lightning because I'm an idiot. I didn't mean to do that. You can parry the mess out of this guy too. Why am I using this? Oh, it's because that's my bad, guys. That's because I'm not as accustomed to what my current spells are. In my other one, my other file, my spells would not be that. There you go, that's better. Oh, my ass. Okay. No! Okay. I got killed. That's fine, though. We almost had him, too. You mean the place that looks like Nokron? Nokron. Let's just call it the green cube place without spoiling it for everybody. Okay, so I got destroyed there. That's fine. I was using lightning, even though I just said not to use lightning. My hotkeys, the ones that I assigned to the different buttons, the spells I assigned to the different button presses, these are different spells and, of course, different hotkeys that I have in from my actual file, like my main file. So this is something I'm getting used to. I'm playing it completely different for you guys because I wanted to showcase how different it is and just try something that's not going to be the exact same, you know? There you go. Much better. So yeah, he's pretty weak to arcane, actually. Yeah, he's super weak to arcane. Alright, he's dead. Cool, we got Cragheart, Earth Crystal, and Drithen. 1 times 3. We got the achievement No Stone Unturned. And here we're gonna get... Yeah, Nokron. No, I knew what you were talking about. Nokron from Elden Ring. But I was thinking that's like the area that's kind of like... It looks like night on the, you know... It looks like night, but you're under a cave kind of thing. Yeah, the Dream Shell was certainly cool, but I'm talking about the green cubey area. A grimoire is near. Grimoire is, of course, the whole point of the game. We're supposed to obtain 5 grimoires as the curator. We're the curator of the library. When using an anvil, okay, it's the same thing. Staves can be upgraded to +3. I actually like the block parry since it's identical to Hogwarts Legacy, says McGee. So there's a bunch of different pathways we could have taken. We're going to go this way for now. Grab these different items. We got a Vitality Crystal, which now means we can heal 4 times. So our Estus Flask, if you will. Gonna need that. You're stuck. Alright, we got some more Drithen. We've got this. Oh gosh, I'm gonna get blown up. This is a stone enemy that constantly spews stuff out. I normally don't have any trouble with these because I can kill them from a mile away, but considering... There you go, buddy. Yeah, considering I don't actually have the same spells, let's adapt. Time to adapt. So you do like the block and parry system. I do too. The parries are fantastic. They're incredibly responsive. And they feel so satisfying when you nail them. You can feel that weight. It's just odd that whenever you're getting hit, it's very much like ESO. I don't know if you're familiar with ESO, the MMO. Like, that's the only one I've ever truly put in a bunch of hours into. It plays very similarly. I need to turn up the volume because I'm not getting the audio cues on that ahead of time. Okay, so again, more areas we could go out to, just so you know, like whenever you leave an area and come back in, the enemies do respawn. So I'm just going to show you like, hey, where does this lead to? This is going to be another area of the Craglands that we could explore, and that we will be exploring. We might as well take it out or knock it out now. So first things first, we'll be exploring the Craglands in due time. You get what they called Owl Mail. Owl Mail is just pretty much like notifications that the game gives you in the mail system that says, hey, these are points of interest you might want to check out. Craglands is where we do need to go to progress and meet the NPC that Magron told us about. But here we got Heart of the Crag. Heart of the Crag is a talisman, not a charm. And this reduces your physical damage by 10%. So we can have that equipped for now. Why not? That's just a freebie right there. But that message, that dev message that I didn't read, just says, hey, you don't take fall damage. Unless you're falling into a chasm or water. Then you'll just die. Love the parry, says Blind. I'm a parry-centric player. Liza P and Anotri. Oh, that's where I heard you from then. I remembered your name. You were talking about the Liza P stuff. And yeah, I remembered. I was like, I know I've seen you in chat before. But yeah, parries are the way to go for me. If I can parry in a game, rest assured I'm going to do it. And I'm going to kick all the ass possible. So again, I don't necessarily have the best element to combat these stone enemies, but Arcane is not bad. Arcane's not bad at all. It's allowing me to still deal a decent amount of damage, considering I don't have anything that they're weak against right now. Hello, friends. We'll be going out here in due time. This is just an area, or a sub-area, that we normally wouldn't be able to reach otherwise, so this will be the end of the exploration for this particular area for me then. I don't want to go too far. We're just going to explore this part of the Craglands, which otherwise would be inaccessible, so. McGee says, I really want to get Liza P on my PlayStation, but I'm a poor boy. Oh, join the club. Join the club. Okay, so enemies would respawn in there, not to worry. We can come down here, and as this little lift goes down, we'll go back around. Remember, we did go through that area earlier. We'll need to revisit it. See, like if we fell down there, that'd be death, I think. Pretty sure. Looks like death. Smells like death. You can either hold the block or you can parry it, and which is much more stylish. Ow. No, 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 no. Well, if I must spam a spell you're not weak against, I'll do it. Okay. I got destroyed there. Okay, there's an item. Over here. Driven 2, level 2. I think we're good here. We can go down. And this should lead us to another area that I'm trying to get to. There you go. This is going to lead us to the very beginning, the Penal village area. So if you remember, we'll just take a quick look around. This is where we start everything off. And this is going to lead to our initial little area that we translocated into. So we can go back to the library. And again, now we're starting to get some of that connectivity. You know, everything's starting to connect, and you're going to see how expansive it really is. It's incredibly overwhelming at times. Let's see if we have any halcyons we can use. No, not enough though. No worries. So we have more mana and we have more vitality, and we do have a memory slot. You know what we didn't do though? We didn't actually learn a new spell in our memory slot. So let's figure out what we're going to do there. We do have a fireball. Cinder Sword is actually pretty good. Shock Ray is fantastic. I don't have any a good projectile necessarily. The fireball is good, but it has an arcing kind of trail to it whenever it's a trajectory, I guess, whenever you're firing it. So that's something to consider. But we'll probably use Boulder. Boulder is actually one of my favorites. I use it a lot, I should say. Let's make sure we don't have anything we need. Spell Catalyzer, Earth Crystal. Okay, yeah, we'll use this. So we're going to craft this spell. And we're now going to learn it. So we got our spell book and we can equip it. So let's see this. Yeah, I don't want this here necessarily. I'd much rather this. Let me just confirm this is the correct. Yes, that should be my AoE. That's my fireball. That's my arcane pulse. That's my boulder. Oh, I love it. Now that's sexy. Now we're good. Now we're doing really good. Okay. So from here, we're now going to go back to the church, Undercroft, and we're going to go back to the other area. There's a few things that I want to show you guys, and this is why I'm doing it this way. This is not necessarily the only way to do it. I'm just really trying to show you guys how it all happens. How it all ties together, I mean. How do you like boulders? He didn't mind them too bad, actually. Ow. There you go. Okay, he's dead. Shayla says, I actually started playing Elden Ring just to do some exploration stuff one day. I didn't want to do too much fighting that day, I would have to do in the untended graves. It was fun. Yeah, Elden Ring's great. I think it's a great game. I just kind of get soured with the experience because of all the, I don't know, all the people that like it now. It's, it made it mainstream. Gross. Blind says, I like how the boulder spell has more height on it to get enemies on elevation. It does. It does. Like here, for example. It's got a nice little arc to it. That's not what I wanted to do. There you go. Alright, we're going to go back and return to the area that I was exploring. Yeah, this guy's pissed. We're going to go back into the abandoned excavation thing, which, you know, the funny thing is I could have just used the memory font. But that's what happens. When I'm in chat mode, man, I completely forget certain things. But yeah, we could have just used the memory font. It would have been there in 2 seconds. These guys are actually weak to fire. They are not very weak to arcane. Just FYI. Take a fireball then. Have 2. Alright, so we're going to go this way. Yeah, Elden Ring's fantastic. I think it's a really great game. Really? Okay. See, there's bait in this corner. As you may have noticed, I've been continuously looking at this corner. You can get different rarities of bait, and the bait that you use when you're doing a fishing little mini mission will help indicate what you're gonna get. And the better the haul, you could get a really, really unique item that's a key item that I don't even know what it leads to yet. So haven't finished the game just yet. So the memory font would have taken us right there, but you know, it happens. So this would we then have 2 pathways that we can take, or 2 additional pathways. We had the pathway over there, and this pathway that says the grimoire is near. This is all going to connect to different areas. And like different main areas in the game. So this here is going to take us to the upper part of that bridge that where we grabbed our little charm. Okay, so hopefully that just kind of connects things. Like, the game is huge, and the way it connects different areas is overwhelming for sure. But as you get more accustomed to the way that the areas all connect, then you're going to get a lot better at it. You're going to be like, oh, okay, this makes more sense. But a grimoire is near. This is going to be the other way to get to the church Undercroft area. This is going to be an area that is a little different. You normally wouldn't access it a little bit later if you just search the church Undercroft area initially. So, shouldst thou be shocked, stamina regen will be slowed. So lightning, if you get afflicted by it, your stamina regen gets donked up. Those guys explode, and they have a massive range, so don't underestimate the range on the explosive enemies. These guys don't like a lot of different things, but let's see. They're pretty strong against arcane, believe it or not. I'm just testing because these are all different spells than what I have. So I love using Boulder in particular because it has an excellent damage. It does great stagger. And I am just very accustomed to using it. I was using the dark magics for a period of time until I discovered geomancies a little late on. I was like, wow, the geomancies are just fantastic. I hate fishing, but this game in Cyberblade hooked me in. No pun intended, says Blind. Shayla says, I just rode around on Torrent exploring and picking up items. Got killed a couple times, got chased a lot. Hey, it happens. I'm glad they're planning on releasing Cyberblade on PC. It's going to be great. Yeah, as you saw, there was an enemy trying to ambush us. As they shrink, you'll see the fuse go down, and that's whenever you want to block. You can typically get a parry in there. Alright, so there aren't any illusory walls in here that I know of. This item, you're going to see that we would have... I want to look up to it later so you guys can see it, but the midlight prisms are actually pretty rare items. They are consumable items, and they restore all of your HP and your MP, so very, very good to have. Quite pricey if you want to purchase them, and exceedingly rare. That was scary. Okay, so this is just the area that's going to take us to the entrance to a dungeon that we would explore and see in due time, but we're not going to go there just yet because it can be a bit of a tougher area in the beginning anyways. I guess I just missed everybody. What, the balls just hit me in the head? Oh, the fire bros? That's right. There's like these skull enemies that are super annoying. You can parry them and they just blow up, which is very satisfying, but I'm going to show you guys a cool secret in just a moment. Alright. If you're frozen, you're going to move slowly. This is actually a secret, but there's two enemies in there, and then that wall is illusory. The wall up the staircase anyway, so we're going to be coming up and around that here in due time. B says, I take it most part of the shinies respawn once you re-enter the area? No, none of the shinies respawn when you enter an area. Only bait. Bait is just something that is a respawnable loot item because you can fish infinitely. So bait is the only item that will respawn. I hope that answers your question or helps clarify that. I need to heal. I'm in trouble. Parried him. There you go. Yeah, no shinies come back. Enemies come back, but not shinies. I wonder how he likes fire. That's hard to say. We'll have to... I think fire probably doesn't. He probably didn't like fire. Bleak blood. See, these things are enemies technically, but if you don't mess with them, they won't hurt you. So quit being jerks and hurting little balls of light. This is a shortcut that we'll be opening up. Again, this is not the path or the order in which I explored this area, but we will be opening up this area a little bit later. That will then be a shortcut to this area here. This area is going to have a powerful demon enemy that we would have seen much earlier on had we continued on our little search, but these guys don't necessarily like a lot of different magics. They don't like bold, they don't like geomancies, they don't like a lot of different things, so you can just experiment along the way. In my file, just before I grab this item, you get an ability that can allow you to interact with these cubes, and you can warp to them, and you can grab items along the way. Orbs like this, that are just floating around, right now you can't do anything with them, but once you get a compass upgrade, blue orbs would replace or replenish my mana, red orbs would replenish my health, so lots of different things you can consider there. If we go up and around this way, that is a way out of this area, but we could explore that, but I'm not going to do it just yet. This looks like Shrine of Amana for sure. I love this area. I'm just waiting for the obligatory poison swamp. There is a gutter area for sure. Like 1,000,000% there's the gutter. This is saying that you can fall from great heights, but something like this, a chasm and all, it will kill you, so. So here we just want to dash, grab this. And you can dash again. There's enemies over here that are actually pretty tough without... I don't have any mana. They're not bad, but if you don't have the means to kill them, that can be a little tricky, I'd say. We're going to open up this pathway here, and this will then give us at least one of the shortcuts to this area. So I'm happy with this. We're going to go to the library and level up, and we're going to go back and we can clear out that area. I think that's fine. We'll go ahead and clear out that area. Normally, it's going to lead to like a level 3 dungeon, which we don't want to necessarily jump into head first, but I do know how to deal with most of the threats in this beginning area for sure, so we'll be fine. Alright, so I say we continue bumping up our health a bit. Health to 20, and then we'll get another spell slot. What we're waiting for is the means to craft our mage light, which we need 4 more holy crystals. So if we can find any holy crystals, just make sure you guys let me know. We need 4 more. B says, does your MP regen over time? Or your MP does regenerate, but it's very slow. It's a slow regen. Killing enemies replenishes your MP, and parrying replenishes your MP, and also reduces your ailments if you're afflicted by any kind of ailment. Ow. Damn it. Will you die, sir? Yeah, so MP does regen, but there are consumable items that you can stock up on. This is going to be a door that opens much, much later. I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't even opened up this door yet. Just because I think I know where it leads to, but I have not opened up that door just yet. But I have a feeling, because I've seen one similar, that I know where it leads to. Very, very cool. Shining orbs. Alright, now we can work our way back up and around here. This will take us back to where the little froggy guy was. Yeah, when you get Mage Light, that's going to change your life. Mage Light will change your life forever. Alright, so technically, if we wanted to, we could drop down to this other area, and we will. Let's just take this guy out first. It's casting lightning. Not fun. Very nice. And we gotta be careful dropping down here. There's gonna be some bros, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of frog bros. That's our crystal lizard equivalent. Very nice. Took him out. This is just gonna be an area where you can just kind of destroy this little crystal, and then you get some arcane or arcana. Actually, is it arcane or arcana? Arcana. It's hard for me to say. Always check for illusory walls. There's plenty in this game. Plenty. This is not one. Consider, I did check. That's not an illusory wall. I was shocked and disappointed. But we're getting all these different crafting materials for our spells. And that is really important. Really? Different spells, of course, are going to be much more effective against different enemies, but more than anything, you have to understand, is this spell a high mana cost? What high damage? Does it deal stagger damage? What is the, which spell do I need to use in the right situation? And that to me is lots of fun, figuring out and experimenting with along the way. We'll go there in just a minute. I'm just trying to figure out. I didn't come from here in this direction when I explored this area for the first time, so I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything. This pathway up here is technically one of the ways out. This is how you would have entered this area. We're really close to another area we can explore really shortly. This is a level 3 dungeon we'll be checking out. There's different grades of dungeons. I've gone up to level 5 currently. They're pretty challenging. Okay, you're just strong against everything? Are you strong against this, though? No, I didn't think so. Aquamarine dye. So the dyes are actually cosmetic things, so you can change the color of your garb. There are certain pieces of garb that you can that already come with different colors, different designs. But if you use the dye and you prefer a different color, you don't like the new color of your current garb, you can always change it out. Blind says, you said there was an illusory wall upstairs? I must have missed that one. Yeah, I'll show you. This is a pathway to what we call the Kren. The Kren is like a tiny little mini dungeon that's going to lead us to an NPC that sells different stones. Kind of like a Gavlan. Gavlan wheel, Gavlan deal. But instead we're going to come up here. We're going to make sure we take out these enemies really quickly. Open this up. There you go. Let's take out this other archer right up here. I'll show you the illusory wall in just one moment. I've pretty much found everything that up to the point that I've explored. Like so, there are only a few things that I've missed. Oh, well, not missed. I mean, there's a few things that I'm lacking to pretty much get everything in terms of the secret items. Okay, so got to be careful because there's gonna be a pink enemy here. I timed that so poorly. That's okay. There you go. Now you're dead. We'll grab this chest. Dude, he even sounds like Gavlan. No doubt. No doubt. That's why I even said it. He speaks like Gavlan. Okay, so there's a doorway there. That'll be a shortcut that we're going to open up in due time. You can come down here, and honestly, I don't see a reason not to because we already opened up the other shortcut. So now we got an arcane mirror. There are different items that you can use to respec as well. And we'll be collecting those along the way, but depending on the spell type you're trying to craft, you want to collect specific materials for that. This is a cube that right now we can't interact with, but we will be able to in due time. It's going to take some time, though. It's going to be a while. It's going to be a while. We'll just kill these dudes by parrying and hopefully get the ability to... Well, this is taking forever. Okay, never mind. You dodged me at the last moment. Like a boss. Wow, what's up with my parry skills? My parry skills! Okay, there you go. Oh gosh, okay, alright. Take it easy. Take it easy, buddy. Ow. Oh, you again. We meet again. This is actually going to take us to the boss, so I don't want to go here yet either. This is going to take us to the boss. But what we can do is there is a shortcut. Ugh. If you have that purple skull, that means you're cursed. If you're cursed, that means you cannot heal. If you cannot heal, that means you're going to die. You know? Any mimics in this? McGee, I have yet to see a mimic. I've yet to see a mimic. But then again, I'm only like 60% of the way through the game, so... Let's take out this big boy over here. Ah, what? Just parry him to death. Oh my gosh. That just happened. I'm just kidding. But anyways, you get used to the parry timing and stuff. It's like with any game. Okay, so good shape there. We're actually going to approach the one of the final areas here. Well, the final area of this particular dungeon, which I don't necessarily want to do just yet. Oh, really? Now I'm going to have a hell of a time defeating the orb. Ow. Yeah, of course. There you go. Okay. Free Mana is back. Everybody in chat, Free Mana is actually the dev for this game. He's a really cool dude. Feel free to ask him questions. I know he's probably not going to reveal much in terms of spoilers, but any other questions you have in terms of the game, mechanics, whatever, feel free to give him an ask. He is a really cool dude. Reached out to me not too long ago, and he's been a blast to explore his game. So, all right, this is going to be the lift. I'll show you the 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 illusory wall now. A grimoire is near, very, very near. So this is going to lead us to the boss in this area. We're not going to go here just yet, though. We kind of, I'd say we are not quite ready for that just yet. Free mana is in the chat, guys. That is the dev. Make sure to treat him well. McGee, I said I've yet to see any mimics. I don't know if there's any mimics yet. Oh, Blind says there are. Okay, cool. I haven't experienced anything just yet in terms of a mimic, but I've seen all kinds of crazy stuff. Alright, so we're going to pass these little guys over here for now, because I just want to show you guys. This right here is the illusory wall. There's tons of illusory walls in this area. Thank you, Mr. Demon Man, but that's not going to work. We'll go back, and then this again is going to lead us to the area we first explored. The area, the entrance, I'd say, to the church Undercroft. So we're going to go back to the library, and then we're going to now do a proper search of the area. This is going to allow us to then get to the... we'll complete that particular area, and then we can explore around in the Craglands, things like that, and we'll come back and just defeat the boss. He's a very, very difficult boss in the beginning because you need to really understand how to parry him. He's incredibly aggressive and uses a lot of melee. And I was not expecting that, but it's fine. He is quite a jerk, but he's not bad. It's the first boss that holds a grimoire. And interestingly enough, this one's pretty easy to find. The others are not so much so. They're not quite as easy to find. We still need a few holy crystals. I'm looking for mage light. We still need 4 holy crystals. Yeah, we're lacking in that department. Shayless is very cool game. Oh, indeed. Looking forward to playing it. It is way justified at the $25 price line, whatever, price tag, whatever. And it's actually on discount to the 28th, so I definitely consider checking it out. Like I said before, to consider this game is made by one person, it's just phenomenal. And there's lots of things that I just really enjoy about it, that you find that it's not at all very repetitive or samey. There's a lot of enemy diversity. The dungeons are all very vastly different. You just saw the Shrine of Amana looking area, right? So, Free Mana says, thank you very much. Enjoy it. Okay, so as you know, what is your blind? This is the illusory wall right here. So from the area, this is it's not a necessary one. You're going to explore that area anyways, but it's just one that, it's nice to know about, I suppose. But anyway, so now let's go ahead and explore the rest of this area. If we go down here, this is actually going to lead to the Craglands, which isn't a bad thing to do. There's going to be a really great item that we can get. I don't know if I'm using a whole different loadout of spells, different from my main file. And I don't know if we have what we need to necessarily take on that particular enemy. But I'm definitely going to try it. The enemy is weak to ice, and he's not necessarily very strong against dark either. So he's not very strong against dark. So we could use what we have in hopes to take him out. But this would lead us to the Craglands. This is another area that will open up a little bit later. When we open this area up, you'll be able to then go to the lower sections of the game. So you didn't notice that one? Oh, nice. Well, hopefully that helps you out, Blind. McGee says, I literally have less than $5 in my bank account, otherwise I'd give it a buy. Oh, good. Well, when you do get paid, please do buy it. And just so you guys know, this is not at all, sponsored or anything like that. This is just, the dev's just that cool of a dude. He just coming in, stopping by, and I'm just playing his game, so I just really enjoy it. I've been messaging him all week. I'm sure he's like, dude. But I'm like, oh, I saw this. I figured this out. And he's just been entertaining me. So I appreciate that, Mr. Free Mana. This is the area that we want to kind of progress towards. There's going to be more than one boss in this area, so we're going to want to take them out. Let's see. Are you weak? What are you weak to? I tried everything, but okay, very good. And then we'll just come in and do a melee strike, and that did nothing. Okay, I'm dead. We're going to return to that area. There's actually a light inside that we can use, and you're going to see how different and how important that lighting can be. I have Mage Light as one of my slots or spells slotted in my main file, and I strongly suggest you guys do the same. But anyways, we're going to come through here, kill this demon guy. He's actually pretty powerful. in the beginning. He's like surprisingly strong. But he's not very strong to, you know, if you boulder him to death or different things like that. So he's got a number of weaknesses you can definitely exploit. But boulder and the geomancies are certainly some of my favorite spells. That was poor timing there on my part. Free Menace says, hey, no problem. Always happy to answer questions. Very nice, very nice. She's sick of me too. That's funny. Alright, what did we do? You didn't like that. How are you still alive? You're just gonna stay there, aren't you? Okay, that took forever. That was not good. So you just have to interact with these with your compass. That activates the brightest of lights. And now we have Mage Light activated for free. Not every dungeon is this nice though, so don't get spoiled. Free mana is quite the troll, if I should say so myself. In the most respective ways, of course. And he knows. He's put in some things and I'm like, really? Is that what we're doing? It was lots of fun though. Lots of fun. Also free mana, the black gem. That was fun. That was lots of fun. That was a really fun gem to obtain. All right. There's gonna be some rat ambushes here. You guys know how I feel about rats. These are kind of glossy rats though, so they're not nearly as bad or disgusting as typical Souls-like rats, which I'm fine with. This one's like, oh, it's a freebie. Well, there are no freebies in Souls-likes, right? You got this little guy right here. There are no freebies, no handouts, no free kills. None of that stuff. Alright, so if we go to the right, that's progression. If we go this way, though, to the left, we're going to be ambushed by a new type of enemy. You can probably hear it right now, whispering its weirdness. Let's see what it's weak against. You know what? You're probably weak against this. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. That was scary. So experimenting with the different spells to understand what the enemies are weak against is going to be pivotal in like your success in this game. And also your frustration, because you might be like, I favor this type of spell. And if you just try and spam it, it's not going to be very effective. So you do need to kind of diversify as much as you can, you know, without, you know, completely being a jack of all trades or whatever. But you could be a jack of all trades if you want. The different staff combinations allow for that. So Free Man says, ah, yeah, it's a good one. How many of the gems have you uncovered? I think 5. Let me. I have my little thing up right on my other playthrough. Yeah, on this one, I just started this brand new file for you guys. I have 9 of the Midnight Brazers. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 of the 8 gems: yellow, blue, green, and black. I know I can get one from a certain area, but I don't want to spoil that. But it looks like there's one that's tied to one of the let's just call it like the Hunters Guild thing. It looks like there's one tied to that. I don't know. A lot of the things are very intuitive, and I think they're very secret, but also very intuitive, which I think is really well done. You know, presentation wise, it's like, okay, there's mysteries to it, but there are ways to help track progress in a way. So I do like all that. It's just very well done, very, very well done. I'm using the spell so I can quickly get the light. I'm impatient. I don't want to crawl around. Alright, so we're going to do this. This is going to open up a shortcut for us. And then we're going to go face off with a boss. This boss is pretty interesting. Not a difficult boss, but more than anything, just the music. Listen to the music because it's phenomenal. This boss in particular is pretty fun. But it's not necessarily indicative of what you're going to be facing off against in the future. There's so many different types of bosses in this game. And they're all very unique in the way that they attack. So, their styles. Let's see, do I have any additional? I don't. So we're going to go up to 20 vitality, and then we'll pump this up. We'll probably need another spell slot before long, but what I was telling in chat is that, honestly, if you have knowledge of the elemental damage and the weaknesses of the enemies, you don't really need to pump a lot into willpower, because this is 1% increase in damage. So I prefer to go kind of tanky, have lots of mana so I can continuously cast spells, and then have a handful of attunement slots so that we can have sufficient number of spells to kick the ass of whatever enemies we face off against. Matthias says, it still blows my mind that only one person made this game. Oh, by the way, Matthias, Free Mana Game Studio, that is the dev, and he's in chat right now, so feel free to give him all the kudos. Matthias says, yes, it blows my mind, only one person made this. I can't believe this, man. Grubelist says, what's up, Inhuman? Looks very interesting. Keep up the good work. Thank you, thank you. This is an interesting situation we're in here because, well, once I kind of get enough knowledge of some of the other areas of the game, I'm definitely going to be putting some guides together for you guys, and depending on if I have the time, I might do a 100% guide, but this game is so damn extensive and expansive. Like, it's one of those games where you're like, can I do this? Is it possible? And it certainly is. It's just very challenging to do everything. There's so many amazing secrets that I haven't even beat the game yet. So there's still many things I'm figuring out myself, but I'm really looking forward to beating the game and hopefully finding all the secrets. My bad. Wait. Ow, what the? Wait, did I do something weird here? Oh, no, this is it. My bad. I got totally turned around. This is the staircase towards the boss. My bad, guys. I got totally turned around from that little skull that hit me in the face. Enemies made of stone are immune to lightning. They always kind of give nice little tips right before the boss, so you can have an idea of what not to use. But hey, you know, it is what it is, right? We gotta do what we gotta do. This is the Silent Gravekeeper. Let's see what he's weak against. I used Dark on him when I was doing my standard playthrough, but I have a whole different slew of spells, so... Oh, my music. Okay. So this guy's got melee, he's got alternating spells. This is not the way to go. I don't have the best spells right now. We'll use Boulder, see what he does with Boulder. Okay, yeah, Boulder's good. Okay, alright. Take it easy, big guy. Oh my, okay. Yep. Boulder's a little cheaper. Obviously, there's going to be spells that are much more effective against him. I just don't have those right now. I used Dark on my first attempt, and it was pretty good. I am out of mana, not good. Fighting this guy up close and personal, probably ill-advised. But he's not very resistant to arcane, so we have a chance here. Oh my gosh, we have a chance to do some things. Okay, that's fun. Good fun. Good fun indeed. Yeah, arcane's the way to go up close. He does have that kind of like back off attack, but I do too. Lost Relic and Dark Crystal. We did need a Lost Relic. That's part of the materials for the Mage Light, so very good, very good. Free Mana, sorry, Matthias' Free Mana Game Studio, very well done. I will definitely be picking up your game at some point, but with the holidays coming up, money or lack thereof is a bit tight. It happens. Definitely show your support if you can. If you guys are interested in this game, please go out and get it. Again, this is a work of, I think it took Free Mana, what, 3 years to make this, which, again, I can't imagine how you did it in just 3 years, but very, very impressive nonetheless. And if you guys enjoy this game, please be sure to check it out and support. That's what we do on this channel. We got the church key. This is a key to open up the area by the fox over by the Penal village area that I was talking to you guys about. But yeah, we don't necessarily need that key. There are so many different ways to get to areas in this game that even with some of the traversal abilities, you may or may not need them. They just might make it easier for you to access them. I've found that I've got to areas that I think I probably shouldn't have gotten to as early as I needed to, but a little bit of determination will get you a long way in this game. Alright, so we're going to return and use our levels or use our arcana to level up. And then we're going to go and explore the rest of the church Undercroft area. And then we'll face off and hopefully obtain our first grimoire. So, oh, lovely. Lovely. McGee says the yellow bar beneath the boss health is stagger meter. It sure is. Yeah, there's a... The yellow bar for them is the stagger meter. For us, it's our stamina, right? So whenever you're depleting their stamina, they're going to stagger. So that is correct. You can oh, whoops. Oh my gosh, I keep doing the wrong thing. I keep picking the wrong places. Free Mana says, thanks, Matthias Rain. No rush. Your support whenever you can afford it will be very much appreciated. Absolutely. And it's only, I think, $22 right now with the up until the 28th because of a discount they got on Steam anyways. But I mean, it is well worth the price tag that for this kind of game. And it's a very large game, too. This is not a game that you're going to finish in, 5-10 hours by any means. Okay, so let me think here. Let's see if this door opened up. I did defeat the Silent Grave Bro, so I'm trying to figure out what my other file. I was doing all kinds of different stuff, and there you go. Now this door's open. Oh my gosh. Okay, I forgot to play. I'm panicking. Panicking by the one guy that can't even kill you really, unless you just sit there for hours. There you go. Are you gonna... Yeah? He waited until I let go. You bastard. Anyway, so this is the pathway to like the Shrine of Amana looking area. To the right is the Kren. This is the area to the major boss that we were talking about earlier. So yeah, this is pretty much going to be kind of all tying together those areas that we've already connected into, because we went pretty early on and we went from the outside, which I didn't do in my original playthrough. So let's see if we can let's give it a shot. I'll let you guys see how difficult this boss is. We're probably not going to be able to beat him with the stats we currently have, but hey, it's fine. Why not? Let's give it a whirl. We will be exploring the Craglands, though, after I die, whatever the outcome is. Regardless of the outcome, we'll be going for the Craglands next. And there's a reason for that. It's going to tie together the map for us a little bit as well. Grubulus says, for one person, it's very good. I'm going to put it on my wish list. Need external hard drive from my system, no space. Oh, I'm sure you can make some space, Grub. I believe in you. Blind says, the interconnectivity is fantastic and very Dark Souls 1 in the way where you find a door and go through it. And you're like, holy crap, I'm back here. Yes. And also, whenever you find a new area and there's like 3 different pathways, you're like, oh my gosh. It's like a very overwhelming kind of sense, but also like an exhilarating feeling at the same time where you're like, oh man, this is good. Like, you're not sure, like, should I push forward or should I retreat and live to play another day? What shall we do? Alright, let's take on this guy again. We need to get past this little particular area. Hello. Okay. Oh, buddy. Are you gonna do a thing? There you go. Oh my gosh, that was nasty. The parries. I love parrying. If you can parry in a game, rest assured I will do it. I will do it with great pleasure, in fact. Alright. Good, good, good. Just so you guys know, if we were to go down here, this is going to be the lift that we activated. So if you just go from the main entrance of the the church, I'm sorry, to the illusory wall, you can come right here. So nothing crazy. Your parry game is on. Oh yes. You certainly haven't seen some of my challenge runs. Shouldst thou be cursed, then thou shalt not heal. Very true. A lot of the different ailments are pretty interesting. Pencil of Time is actually something that I thought was never going to be useful, but it actually is. I want to show you guys what it is, actually. You have 2 different types of pencils. You have a Pencil of Fate, which allows you to recover lost arcana. So say that you die and it's unobtainable. You can use a Pencil of Fate to obtain it. There's also an in-game mechanic that the compass will allow you to use a little bit later on that, that's also a thing. So if you fall in a pool or a lake or something and it's inaccessible, you can reach it by using a Pencil of Fate or by using your compass later on in the game. The Pencil of Time is really cool because it allows you to attune spells when you're outside of the library. So normally, the only time you can go into your spell book and assign spells is when you're in the library. And this item allows you to assign new spells outside of the library. So pretty cool. Perry Potter. Or is it Perry Hotter? Yeah. Perry Hotter. Yes, indeed. Okay, so this is the Reclaimed Church. We're going to be approaching the door where you would use the church key. So we'll be doing that all in due time. But anyways, this is going to say, if you're cursed, you can't heal. Nice dev messages kind of letting us know. Again, these, B, I know you're asking about the little items. Loot does not respawn. Bait is the only thing that kind of comes up again in random, or I'd say a number of fixed locations randomly. So say there's like 5 bait locations. Bait may appear in one of those locations in a different time, a different spot each time kind of thing. There's going to be a crystal dude up ahead. We're going to face off with this little mage to the right, though. Kind of free things up. Okay. You can actually cross projectiles. Like if you just saw the fireball hit the rock, and that was not good. It just cancels them out, essentially. It's kind of neat. McGee says, the block and parry is identical to Hogwarts Legacy and it has owl mail. Souls, Harry Potter. And I definitely need this. Yes, that is facts. You may need this game in your life. I didn't know I needed it until I played it. And I was like, holy balls. Okay, hold on. My bad. That was a legit response. A legit fear response. Alright, we're going to do this so that we can face off with the boss a little bit later on. You know what? You guys are annoying. Let's just do that. Wasting my mana on you guys. Anyways, we activated the memory font so that we can come back. The boss is actually just these double doors we're going to be opening up in just a few moments. But McGee, yeah, if you can support it, why not? This is the church key. If you have the church key, you can open it from the outside. If not, using the door from the inside will open it as well, I believe. Yeah, like the spells can actually cross each other and then they explode. It's pretty neat. If it's the proper trajectory, I've noticed that a few times. Alright, we're going to take this guy out after those double doors are where the boss is, as I've said earlier. We're going to be opening it up in due time. I don't have any... Yeah, he's got like big boy spells. We're going to grab this real quick. Equalize. I don't really have any... magic right now, which sucks. And then fighting this guy is not going to be fun. This guy's got mad range. And you do have iframes, just so you know. Iframes are a thing. No, 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 no. I gotta... Hold on. There you go. You can interact with items like that. Oh my ass. Okay, hold on. There you go. Panicking. I'm overstimulated. So just so you guys know, what I was doing there was interacting with the orb on the floor with my compass. And what that did is that exploded the orb and did massive damage to the enemy because I didn't have any mana. So there are creative ways to still be effective in battle. He blocked it, you bastard. Even if you don't have any mana. Yeah, I don't have anything right now. I can't. I need to parry an easier enemy right now because those spells move at a weird little rate that I'm not accustomed to yet. Alright, can I kill you, sir? I can't. Oh! Hold on. I heard it before I saw it. Let's kill some of these little enemies. There's our crystal lizard equivalent. Come here. There you go, that's the stuff. Okay. Go back that way. There you go, perfect. Perfect. I can't heal right now because I'm cursed, so if you're wondering why I'm not healing, it's not because I'm being brave. I don't have any holy water, I don't think, either. Oh gosh. I saw that a mile away. I saw that coming. I was like, yep, I'm dead. I was waiting for the curse to wear out, but it didn't. So now what we can do, guess what? Boom. That's why we activate those memory fonts, boys and girls. Alright, now we have enough mana to kill stuff. Oops. There you go. See bait? There's new bait. The shinies don't respawn, but the bait does. And the mushrooms actually do appear in like generally the same area, but not always the exact same area all the time. So there's some differences there as well. Where the hell's that demon bastard that... There he is. You. With the horns. Come here. You shot me through that. Okay. That's Legolas. Legolas. Okay, good. They're dead. I'm going to grab this because I'm angry. And let's kill this guy. Okay. Or not. Let's heal while he's recovering. Oh, I didn't time that very well. There you go. He's no longer a threat, so we can take on this guy next. Okay, very good. We already took out the crystal lizard guy, which is great. Hello. There you go. Really? Very nice. Pick up our lost arcana. Now we can take out this idiot. He's been peppering us from afar. And he's dead. Alright, good. So now we can search around. I think that's just about everything, though. Let me double check here. This right here is the switch to open up the double doors. This switch will lead to the boss, which is going to allow you to get your first grimoire. I don't think we're prepared necessarily to face off with that boss just yet. He's pretty difficult. He's got a lot of emphasis on melee strikes. So he can be a bit of a jerk. As I said earlier, the compass, right? You can interact with these orbs, and it blows orbs up. Later on, you'll be able to interact with floating orbs as well, and different things like that. So you can either traverse areas, or you can replenish health and stuff on the fly. But there's the boss right there. He's going to be praying, and there's an item right over there, a spell. We'll be facing off with him in due time. But there was one other thing we need to do. So now that we're here, I'm trying to think where we could go next. Actually, while I'm thinking, let's equip some items here. Page of the Lost Tome's good. I'm looking for, yeah, bookcase fragments and Page of the Lost Tome are good to have. This allows you to replenish mana over time slowly. Actually, yeah, this right here, not the item that's showing. And this item right here is like a homeward bone. Takes you back to the library. You don't lose any arcana. If you needed to go back, you could use the Seal of Binding. You would lose your arcana, but you would definitely go back to the library. So something you can use in tight spots. But that's the church door again. This is the boss. I guess we could definitely try defeating the boss, but I'm pretty sure I'll die. So instead, let's try and survive. There was another pathway that I wanted to explore. I think, I'm not remembering though. Was it the Kren? Could do the Kren. The Kren is going to lead us to a new NPC. And this NPC is going to be pretty helpful. He can sell different types of stones. Running past like this is never advised, just so you guys know. It's like the dumbest thing to do. See? You never want to do that, necessarily. Okay, so that's fine, though. We started back off in the library. Now we'll go to the church Undercroft area again. And I think we should go towards that area, the Kren. That'll be a fun area. Okay. Let me see if I can remember. Oh, and that's right. The Craglands. That's what we wanted to do. My bad, guys. So, yeah. So this was the, just to, you know, get an idea. There was a locked door that we just opened up. And that led to the boss, right? The main boss. We're going to go this way to go to the Craglands. Craglands is great because it's going to allow us to kind of open up another area of the library that we can explore. And this area is a lot of fun, actually. We're going to go to the right first, just because we can close off some of the areas we've already explored. So enemies do not leash. Oh, not at all. The enemies will chase you through the entire map. As long as there's a loading zone, they're going to go. It'll be in that particular loading zone, they'll chase you. Like an open world, for example, you will be pursued until you are killed or they are killed. Alright, so there's some goblins in this little set of ruins here. We'll take them out. They're not particularly weak to fire, so... I mean, particularly weak to arcane, so we're going to use fire, my bad. But if you burn them with fire, then they're pretty much weak to anything, because they take increased damage. So I like to start off with fire when we can, at least on this file. And then we switch to arcane, which I've never used before, this file. Arcane is not bad at all. We got a stone enemy over here. Remember, the stone enemies are resistant to a number of things and immune to lightning. So we'll just go in for the melee damage here. Do our arcane. Our simple blast. And we're going to be exploring this lower area. If you notice, this is the bridge where we were able... Well, there was a bridge very similar to this. That we were able to grab our charm in, our very first charm. And it's this one right here, that bridge. Alright, fighting this guy up close, not fun, but... okay, maybe not a good idea at all. See if we can parry him. We can parry him, which is great. And we can block, but we can't parry. Okay, so he's dead. Again, the enemies, those aren't very tough. If you have, I usually use dark on them, but they are probably weak to. Probably looks like they're weak to ice. A lot of the stone enemies are. So we're going to come up this way, and then we'll be searching around the rest of this area to the right, and then we'll circle around to the left. There's a bunch of different pathways. This here is going to actually be the other side of the abandoned excavation area that we came out of, and we were able to then explore that tower there with the light. That's where we got our first charm. That's a pretty dance, but that's not going to do anything. Okay, so got this guy next. They're weak to earth. Alright, and this was the area that I said, okay, we're going to stop exploring. So eventually you'll be able to interact with those and you could heal. Anyways, we had come up there for a period of time, but let's just make sure there's nothing else we can grab while we're here. Finish him off with our arcane. Oh, these guys kind of suck right now because I don't have the best thing to deal with them. Oh, there's two? Lovely. Lovely. Oh gosh. Don't kill me, bro. Don't tase me. Okay. Better. The other green dude's on the other side of this, and then this. Oh, there's another one. There must be three then. Kill! Okay, there you go. Lovely. This should be bait. There are different rarities of bait, and they are important because they will help you get a special item, a secret key item. I haven't obtained all the secret key items just yet. I don't know what they do when you have all of them, but I can only imagine it's something amazing. Blind says, by the way, there's a hint what to do with the gems at the very beginning of the game in those rooms. Yeah, there is. Yeah, it definitely does. You have to use, when you have the compass to read those, that you can see it. You can see that message. What just hit me? It wasn't. There's no way it was the green guy, was it? Oh, maybe it was. No, it was the bomb. Okay. See, my audio, I have it turned down really low right now. And I was like, I recognize that sound, but that's my bad. Okay. So then from here, you can drop down and get some of these goodies. We'll have to come back up and around, unfortunately. Let's see. Can I reach you? I can. The archers are, of course, a little bit weaker, which is great. Got some more upgrade materials for our staff. B says, is there like a bestiary saying what the enemies are and what they're weak and strong against? No, there's not that I know of anyways, but that's a great idea. But no, there aren't. There is not a bestiary, I should say. But you get used to the different enemies. Like it kind of becomes intuitive after a while, but it does take some time to get used to, for sure. That's an item we need to grab that I didn't get whenever we first came out to the Craglands. There's a big skull here we're going to be exploring. This is where the archer just was. But we'll be going through the entire area. Just, again, these areas are massive and you can't just rush through because you'll skip a lot of content. Bonjour, Kavak, what's going on? Oh! Let's see, what are you particularly weak against? You just don't care about anything, do you, you jerk? So there's no bestiary, and there's no map. But, I mean, that's, you know, kind of things you see. You don't really, I mean, sometimes you would see something like that, but like in a... This is one of those, like, unforgiving kind of games. Like, you gotta figure it out kind of thing. Okay, so we defeated the wolf. There's going to be an item up there. These are the beacons that kind of give you an idea of where to go. We'll be going up there in just a moment, actually. We're not going to go too far to the left here. This is going to circle back down and around, which we'll be exploring this part of the Craglands in due time. There's some guild areas here, and then eventually an area that we can't get to from this side. So we'll be dealing with that in due time. It's an angry doggo. Yeah, not anymore, it's not, right? He was an angry doggo. Now he's just, he's relaxed now. He's happy now. He's in a better place. There's bait. See, these are the small items that you'll see. And you can tell because of the size of the shiny. It indicates whether it's bait or it's something different. Now, if it's a purple one, that's something different. Usually that's going to be like a spell. But all right, let's see if we can actually hit this guy. My goal is to kind of corner him. There's an enemy to our left, but I don't want to aggro him just yet. Okay, good. He's fine. Come on. There's two enemies back behind us. I want to aggro this guy. You are my friend. Oh, lovely. There's usually not that easy to hit, just so you know. These guys spin around and slice you up with their petals, so don't let their cute little design fool you. They're evil warriors of the plant race. We can grab this so we can get some additional arcana for leveling purposes. Very nice. Now we have a tough enemy to face off with over here. But we'll be getting something very special in return. We're going to bait him into this real quick. Come on, beautiful. I can't believe he did that at the last moment. That was impossible. How could he have done that? He's stunned. Ow. Ugh. Okay, very good. Yeah, so that did not work as planned. He did a lunge maneuver at the very last second when I was going to blow his ass to smithereens, but you know, such is life. We're going to get the Staff of Dawn, which is a very important staff. And if we take a look at it, it's going to have different affinities to different types of magic. So Staff of Dawn right here. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. You see the difference. It doesn't have a lot of arcane damage, but it has fire, lightning, and earth seems to be, and holy seems to be kind of what it favors. So everything we have, aside from the arcane, of course, we have fire, lightning, and earth spells, as well as arcane. So this would be something we might want to consider using, right? We could swap out the arcane for possibly even the fire spell, and that would be something we could then use. pretty effectively. So something to consider at the very least. And probably something that I will do. Arcane is nice, and I do like that it's kind of neutral in the sense that there are certain things that it's not necessarily highly effective against anything, nor is it highly resistible. So let's see. We're just gonna have to go with that for now, and then do some melee. Hold on, buddy. He's so angry. Got a bottle of clouds from him. Thank you. Alright. Let there be parries. I actually really do like Arcane. I never had used it in my other file, but it's not bad. At all. Alright, we're going to take out these enemies. There's still a gaggle. Just kidding. There's still another murder of crows nearby. Gaggle of geese. Grab the holy crystal. We still need what? We still need 3 more now? So we can craft our mage light spell. That's going to be fantastic when I can actually do that. Very nice. He's like, what? Okay. Hold on. Whoop. Hold on there, buddy. Forgot how to play. Uh-oh. Die, everybody. Just die. We get the mess of pottage. And now we're going to come up here to the safe area. This is the area that Magron pointed us towards in the very beginning of the game when we entered the Penal village. Blind says, gotta head out. Have a good one, everyone. No doubt, man. Take care. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Have a great rest of your day, my friend. We'll be playing this all week, so be sure to stay tuned. We'll be playing it all week. Actually, I'll be playing it until I beat it, so... But rest assured, I'll be playing this all week. This game is a long one. Free Mana says, take care, Blind. Catch you on the next one. Mithun says, finally a playthrough I can tune in for. Nice. Free Mana says, hey, Mithun. This is the NPC that Magron was telling us about. And if you stand in the fire, you will take damage. Just trust me, I don't know how I know that. A friend of a friend told me.
Oh,
Fenton Hargreaves.
my ears did not deceive me. Truly, a curator stands before me. Whispering winds, I shall not doubt thee again.
Must have been the wind, B. Yeah, they completely got... Like, what? What was that?
They've always said,
Took an arrow to the
"I
knees.
shall find the way, Your arrival, however, is long overdue.
So this guy is like a guild bro, and he is going to grant us access to all the guild lodges throughout the different open world areas. A lot of the open world areas have at least one guild building or guild hall, and not guild hall, but a guild whatever, like person, and they have different functions. Like I mentioned earlier, there's banks that you can deposit your arcana into. There's places you can exchange crystals. There's just shops. There's Hunters Guild type areas. We're going to be checking all those out in due time.
'Twas not my predecessor, but his who lost.
Free Mana says, Inhuman in chat. Mithun here voiced the crow in Craglands. No way. Welcome in, Mithun. Very nice. Hortigan his voice is so good. I was actually wondering whenever we saw him, I was like, I wonder who did this voice. Because I assume that most of the people that were listed on that very first like intro screen were the like either streamers, content creators, whatever. And I was like, this voice sounds really good, and it's believable because he's quite the jerk. And I'm like, this guy, that's awesome, man. Welcome in chat. An excellent job on the voiceover. All the voices are actually really good. There's not one that I have a complaint about, to be honest. Even the voices that do have like you have maybe a layer of effect on it, like a filter or whatever, it's still really good and believable. I enjoy it. One of my favorite voices in this game is the matriarch. The matriarch has she's a beautiful voice. I really like, and the lines that she delivers, on point. Mithun, the crow, that was very believable performance. He's a very frustrating
Did
crow.
I say that already?
So good job on the voice acting, my friend.
You get the idea.
That is so cool.
We have maintained the old ways in the shadow of an endless night. We have maintained them, for we knew one day your kind would return to reclaim that which remains
To
stolen.
find the grimoires.
The grimoires.
The grimoire. This is a game where I just feel like I can tell it's your passion project, Free Mana, for sure, because every little detail has definitely been considered. I know you've thought about these things, but the people you selected to do the voices and the voice acting is phenomenal. They did a really good job. Oh, Free Mana says they are really a solid cast of actors, no doubt. The matriarch, Erin Nicole Lundquist, is really, yes, her voice was amazing. I heard it and I was like, golly, like those lines were delivered. Mithun says, thank you for the kind words. Free Mana assembled a spellbinding, no pun intended, right, Mithun? Yeah, Mithun, your voice on the Hortigan is solid. I'm trying to think of Craglands. He was the one that's praying that we were about to beat in a little bit. But Craglands, I think the reason why I didn't remember his voice, because I just remember being hit with a hammer in the face a little bit more than anything. But I do remember him uttering those prayers, and I was like, oh, you can actually hear him saying actual words, instead of just like mumbling. It was really neat. But Hortigan, oh, Hortigan,
Were you
that guy.
by the library on your arrival?
On my other file, Hortigan's happy now. He's at peace. So Mithun, your character
As you
is
stepped
happy at last. Oh, whoops, my bad.
a sign of
We're going to get through this dialogue, and I'll show you guys where I believe the final boss to be.
the library has no power, no voice. Not to worry, the guild is here, maintaining those old ways as ever. Maintaining our aid to you, the Curator, and thus maintaining order. Or perhaps at this point, restoring it. But the
Very
task
nice.
is daunting, eh?
Oh, it's very daunting. Just wait till you see Mesmeron.
And as such, 5 lords stand.
You guys don't know what that means now, but you'll see.
Oh my, yes.
So he's going to give us a key. We're going to have access to all those different guild
Twisted,
little areas.
consumed by the power of these holy volumes. They pull words of magic from the pages to bring into being their devilish desires. Oh, once
And there's a lot of dialogue, and I like it a lot. It's not just like 2-3 lines. All the NPCs that are interactable, they do have spoken dialogue, which is really nice. I mean, again, lots of detail, lots of care put into each of these different facets of the game that you truly do shine.
Those times are long gone. Now the burden that weighs upon your shoulders alone is greater
Oh, don't
and
worry.
more pressing than ever.
We'll do it.
I do not envy you that weight. Curator, you are now one of very few who share in the secrets of Arcana infusion. Even so, your ability to grow, to learn, it is a birthright.
Indeed.
All the Arcana in the world is for you to have. Every beast, bird, and bat.
And
all
fox, because I
that
killed a
we
few
eat.
foxes.
You have only to reach out and take it. Use it to become the strongest of all living creatures. Then, destroy those dastardly lords, stealers of the grimoires. In this task, the guild stands behind you, fully, completely, as it has always stood in support of your kind.
And so this is where he introduces those different guild, areas that they can assist you with.
Indeed. I am Fenton Hargraves, Guild Master, at your service. By my decree,
Yay, we got the
you are
key.
granted
Very nice.
complete access to all guild facilities and services.
Guild
without
services.
exemption.
I love it.
For yours is the most sacred of all quests.
It is.
The most lofty of all missions. Here, take this key. It will grant you access to the guild hall and all guild lodges. Now then, I expect you have things to do. If you need me, I shall be at the guild hall at St. Hedgemont in the forest.
And we will go to this area a little bit later on. This is going to be where a number of NPCs are that can help along the way. I go there pretty often. There's a blacksmith there as well, a merchant that sells some excellent items. So
A settlement situated
we'll be going there in due
on
time.
the edge of midnight itself, within the forest below the castle Greylog. It is home of the guild and the last standing refuge for all mankind. Yes, these are dire times, Curator. All the bastions of our once great civilization have succumbed to darkness. And now only St. Hedgemont remains. If St. Hedgemont falls, we are doomed. But there is hope now. Here you are after all. Come to the guild hall, Curator, if you please. I shall be there.
Oh, I
shall
will.
await your arrival at the guild hall in St. Hedgemont in the forest. Meet me there whenever you are ready.
Excellent. So now that we've done that, what we can do is going inside here. This is actually the library, believe it or not. It looks very different. This again is the beacon that kind of indicates like points of interest. But here is a pathway to the celestial gates, I believe. And I do believe this to be the final boss area based on, what we heard from the intro and stuff. But there are some pretty interesting things here. Celestium Gate, that's right. We've got Owl Mail. Well, we need to find the Owl Mail Keeper. So Seal Jammer is a compass item. This is incredibly important because now, if you check your equipment, you don't have to actually check it, but you always see like what you have gained. So we had the basic jammer, now we have the Seal Jammer. This is going to allow us to interact with information tablets and floating orbs. These are the tablets that we were talking about earlier. So now we get information. Celestium Gate says, the Lady of Light suffers none to pass who are yet green. Only those may pass who art blessed by Sun of Gold and Moon of Silver. So that must mean either you maybe have those different key items, and once you have both, then you can break through this. And that's probably like the path to I'm assuming the final boss. I don't quite know. And we'll grab this item right back here. We need more holy crystals. I want Mage Light. I didn't realize how amazing Mage Light was. If you go here, you can translocate, and now this is part of our translocation menu. So at any point in time, we can go here if we ever want to. So another thing that a lot of people don't know about is you can actually just rest and recover if you want to. If you want to recover your mana, so you can just do that. And yeah, that does respawn everything and whatever else, but at the same time, it does allow us to, refresh and get ready for the fight. So these are the orbs we can now interact with from a great distance as well. You can interact with them from pretty far away. As I said before, there are more than one way, or there's a number of different ways to get to any area. So sometimes certain things aren't as they seem, whether it be shortcuts or different alternate pathways, whatever. So pretty cool little feature there. You're going to see how vast the world is, but how it all connects. And at first, it's very overwhelming. Like, you're like, where the hell do I go? And even now, I'm like, where the hell do I go? But there's that sense of exploration where I'm like, I can't wait to figure it out. Let's go kill this crystal lizard. I'm going to show you guys the rest of the loot around this area. And then we'll go inside the library. There's only like one little rat that can mess with us right now, but oh, lovely. You bastard. Don't you dare. Ah, yes. Drithen 5, my favorite. The sweetest of all Drithens. Jar fragment. There's going to be some bait. Again, the bait is going to be a smaller shiny. There's a little rat bastard over there. Quite literally. And we got the anomalies. Remember, anomalies are different ingredients for the spells you can craft. We've got one more chest down here, and then we have an area that is known as Snapwood. It's a pretty dangerous area, but there are going to be some things in here that you want, including an NPC and a quest line that are going to be pretty important. So we opened up the chest. Those lines always indicate a new area. Any doors that have those same lights are going to be doors you can interact with. I should have mentioned that earlier, but that's an area that we're going to go to a little bit later. There's one thing that makes it hard to traverse, and it's the fact that you're constantly getting cursed. Remember, curse means you can't heal. And if you're taking damage and you're cursed, that's scary. So not a good combination. Alright, just on the other side of this building, there should be the last few items we're going to grab, and then we're going to jump into the library. So we'll grab this. We just came from there. Just trying to put it all together for you guys, because this can get pretty overwhelming in a good way. And that's why I feel like the only thing that would make it to where this game is not for everyone is probably going to be just because it doesn't hold your hand, you know? And I like that. I like to be like, oh, okay, you're just thrusting me into this world. I'll figure it out. To me, it's like challenge accepted, you know? But it is something that may not be for everybody, but certainly for someone like me. So now that we've accessed the top part of the library, we're good to go. We now can go in and out, and all is well. We're going to go do some leveling if we can, see what we can craft spell-wise. I kind of like our spells. This is very different from what I'm running with on my other file, but it's still fine. I say we go a little bit more health. 25 health, 20 intelligence, then we'll go up to 16 memory for another slot. I eventually do want another slot so we can have Mage Light in there. I do like a little bit of utility, so we need 2 more holy crystals, and we can craft this. Let's see. Now, where were we? Okay, so we'll go back upstairs, and we're going to leave out that area that we had first entered the library grounds on. And we'll explore the other part of the Craglands. Kavak says, are there any special heal spells or anything that can bypass curse? Yes. Free Mana says there are. Yep. There's consumable items. There are spells that you can use. There are... yeah, there's a bunch of different things. Or you just wait it out. This is another area. This is an area that is actually pretty important. This is how you would get to a lot of different hub areas that you're going to want to kind of go to, but we've yet to finish exploring the Craglands, and the Craglands to me is kind of like that beginning open world area that's after the Penal village, so I definitely suggest saving this for immediately after. So we'll do the Craglands, then come out and do what they call the Fractured Fields. So we'll be doing this in shortly, but it'll probably end up being next episode if I'm being honest, because I want to explore the rest of the Craglands and then probably end the session for today so I can start putting some things together. Since the week has started, I got to start putting together some guides and all that good stuff. Scripting, editing, all the fun things. Oh my gosh, that was scary. Okay. I forgot how to play for a second. Whoa. Okay, we're going to ignore the people shooting at us. And the werewolf should also ignore us so we don't... Yeah, we're good. We don't pay him any mind. Pretend he's not there. We've already cleared out all this area, so we're going to, if we can, navigate as safely as possible. There will be an archer up to the top right. We're going to take out if he shoots at us. Okay. I would have parried you if you had hit me. But he wasn't accurate enough. Okay, so now we're going to jump down here. And this is going to be kind of the other half of the Craglands area. You can go up and around this part. I guess we could. And then we can jump down here. There's just so much to explore. This game is so big. Anyway, so when we first came here, we went directly to the right. We entered from those little areas. That's the church, Undercroft area. We'll just explore it the old-fashioned way, I guess. Gonna be a bunch of little goblins here. Oh my gosh. I did not mean to heal. That's what I get, though. There you go. I did not mean to heal there. Sometimes I let go of L2. So if you hold L2 and square or whatever your spell slot is assigned to, you're going to do that attack. But I let go of L2 a little early sometimes, and I accidentally end up healing. But that's fine. That's a user error. Kavak says, oh, it goes away? I guess more I thought of it like a constant thing in the area. Well, it is constant in that particular area, Kavak, because it's constantly being pumped into that like part of the map. So you'll see like a red gaseous aura, and that means like, oh, there's stuff. There's definitely curse here. If you see green, for example, that would indicate that there's poison. like green gas like coming up from the floor. You're in a poisonous area, you know? Okay, the goblins are over there. I guess I didn't have to come this way, but it's fine. I wasn't ready for you. I meant to heal this time. That was all me. Okay. Always be careful in these areas because there are going to be instances where there's explosives, like landmines. And man, oh man, they love pumping in the landmines. Interesting, like in Harvest Valley. Exactly. It's very much so like Harvest Valley. That constant poisonous threat you have to deal with. Holy moly, that was sexy. That parry sound is just so satisfying. Forgive me if I'm drooling. Okay, so we're going to go up here. We've got some bros up here we'll be dealing with. So it's best to go around so you can actually go up and loot. So let's see. He's slow, so while he's menacingly walking towards me, I'll do that. Very nice. Remember, the geomancies are incredibly powerful in general. Not everybody's weak to them, but they are strong. They're quite strong. These guys just happen to be weak to it, though, so. We're going to break this, and then we'll go up along the way. Well, you know what? We won't go up, because I can just circle around that path anyway. So, this area right here that's up on this path, we'll be searching it in a little bit. These guys. What are you guys doing? Free kills. No items? Okay. Alright, so we grabbed that. We can grab this item up here. We'll jump across, and we're going to go down and around instead. Remember where that green spewing like creature was right up here on this little hill? We're going to be going through that a little bit later. You can reach it on the other side, so nothing crazy. Alright, trying to get my bearings here. So ideally, you're coming from this other side to the left. And these guys don't like fire very much. There's going to be archers and all kinds of fun stuff here in a little bit. Just you wait. Just you wait. Alright, we got the poison crystal. We would have come from here, and this is what I'm trying to show you guys. I like to piece the world together for you so you understand that, yeah, even though it's pretty daunting, you're going to understand how to piece it all together at some point. Alright, this guy, what's he going to be weak to? I don't know why I used stone, but that's fine. Stone against stone? No, he didn't really care. He didn't mind too much. Alright, buddy. I'm just going to have to melee you to death. And I say melee, it's truly not melee, it's just the short range spell that you have infinite amounts to use. Oh gosh, now I'm scared. Can you stop that? Oh my gosh, I shouldn't get in 2 hits because I'm so greedy though. I'm so greedy. Oh my ass. Okay, he hit me again. Oh, he's dead. Well, that was rough. Normally, I have a whole different slew of spells. And those guys aren't so bad. In particular, I use a certain dark spell that seems to be pretty effective against them. But yikes, man, that hurt. That hurt my pride and all the other parts. Alright. So here you're going to start seeing mines. As soon as they start shaking, that's when you want to do the parry. Or you just go off the audio cue. Let's see if I can hit him from here. Yeah, it arches up just enough. Very nice. See if I can hit him. Depending on the trajectory of the projectiles, each spell is different. You gotta kind of adjust, okay? So, let me just make sure. I came... Okay, came through here. Yep, this is where we would have come through after defeating the mice, or the giant rat. What do you call them? ROUSs? Rodents of unusual size. Alright, so we're gonna come back this way. There's 2 more mines. You can parry them or you can just block, but blocking's not as stylish as parrying, so why would you do that? If we go in here to the right, there's going to be this pathway where the archers were. There's these little urchin creatures, and there's actually a cave in here, a very, very interesting cave that I haven't revisited it in probably a few hours in my other file, but I definitely want to check it out because there seems to be something important about that I'm not, that I can't like get through yet. It's like a barrier, and there's certain seals that break these barriers. So interested to see kind of how that pans out. But anyways, there's going to be a few rock enemies over here. I'm going to try to use these if I can, because I don't really have the proper spells to deal with them. Thank you, sir. Are you close enough? You're not close enough. Can you come this way? Oh, lovely. I'm dead. I'm dead. Okay. Let's figure out where the closest path is. So we can probably go to Craglands from here instead. We'll go to Church Undercroft, and we're just going to go straight shot past the demon. Rocky Balboa indeed, B. I didn't even see that. I went to Kavak. That's hilarious. Quite. I didn't realize that he was a master of close quarters combat. I used the wrong spell there. I typically don't like to use the lightning spells unless I know they're weak to it. But I'm not used to my layout of my spells on this file. It's very different from what I'm used to and what I've been playing on for several hours. Probably like, I don't know, 10, 15 hours. So, okay. We're at the Craglands. Nice and easy. These little rats. Take the rats out. That second rat's not going to bother us. Did you leave me something? Blood Splinter. Very nice. And we got this rat. We were talking about the Princess Bride last stream, weren't we? We sure were. How that was one of your favorite movies. ROUS's, man. And I wanted to say thank you so much again, Kavak, for that stream was fun, man. It was a lot of fun being able to farm up those loisels. Oh, balls. Alright, we're in good shape now. Let's take out these guys really quickly, clear out this lower area, and then we'll just move on. Let's see. Probably, yeah, that's not going to do nothing, because you are a boulder. I don't believe they exist. RUSs, you're right. What was I thinking? They don't exist at all. Quit spamming your spammy spam. Bastard, okay. I'll take it. The other enemies on the other side, we'll grab our Arcana in due time. You can actually parry them when they come out, just so you know. Very nice. Alright, you're taken out. Now, who's next? Alright, we're going to go here, grab this. And all that was to show you that this is just the lower area, but if you go into where the urchins are, there's going to be an opening. And there is a golem there, or they call him a titan. And I do believe they're pretty important for a number of reasons that I'm not going to really go into right now. But this is the area that that little cliff was on that I had talked about earlier. If you wanted to replenish your mana, you can do that. Now we have a little bit more mana. There should be a little goblin trying to ambush us over here at some point. There he is. I should have parried him. Yeah, that's fine. I went for the attack instead. Replenish our health by eating these little blood mushrooms. Get some Drithen over here, and then we'll go inside. This is like what I call the Hunter's Lodge or whatever, and essentially this is going to allow us to take on hunts. And these hunts are cool because you can get rewards after you complete them.
Come, let us speak of rare beasts.
So here we have different hunts. So this one's underway. The 5 titans are hidden far and deep. They are composed of earth, mud, and rock. To slay each one is to earn an ultimate treasure of incalculable value. And it's true, because we're going to get something really amazing. 1 of 8 that the ancients left behind. So 1 of 8, that's a hint towards a certain thing that I'm pretty sure. It's a number of gems you can get. There's very special gems, like chaos gems, like Sonic style. Very, very cool. But we'll go into that a little bit later. These are unavailable right now. This one says ongoing. There's different beasts that you have to hunt. This one I'm not entirely sure which beasts in particular I have to kill. But this right here is the Frostflame Skull. The Gravekeeper, the Silent Gravekeeper, was the boss we defeated, no longer keeps silence over the Tombs of the Lost. A great apparition has appeared below the church. It must be silenced. So we're going to go ahead and accept that hunt, and we're going to defeat that, or complete that bounty, if you will. He's going to be in the same boss arena that the Silent Gravekeeper was in, so that does help out a bit. If we were to go and clear out this top area, you would see that there's going to be that other rock enemy on the other side, and we'd be coming out on top where these archers were at the other on the lower side, where they're just kind of standing there, and I was making fun of them. All right. Oh, you're still alive? Oh no, you're new. No, where'd you come from, sir? You're pissing me off with your archery skills. We'll get him from here then. Lovely. Heal again. You run up here, and then you can just get a better vantage point, honestly. Circle around here so you can take cover. Line it up, and then you can just shoot them. Alright, very good. Collect all these things. Now, you can't get up here just yet. You will be able to access this area a little bit later. But I'm going to show you guys something kind of interesting. Let's take out these creatures, though. Kind of annoying. Let's see if I can... I'll use one of these. I typically don't like to use items. I'm such a hoarder of items. Alright, you definitely want to take that hive out, because if not, these little creatures, like these bee-type enemies, will constantly be attacking you, and it is so annoying. But anyways, if you go here, you'll see that there's like a movement, like a traversal type thing we can't interact with just yet. We don't have the means to create this bridge, it seems. So that's something that we can access at a later time, or you just go to another area. And again, as we stated multiple times, since the areas are so well connected, you can actually reach this area without the need of that particular traversal item. And then that's the enemy that obviously was off in the distance on the other, when we were looking at it from afar. So all we need to do is we can take out the enemy, and then we're going to go down and try and take on a boss with limited heals, just for giggles. Should have parried that, or should have attempted to parry that. Ooh, my gosh. I lacked the courage, though. There it is. Come at me, bro. Get totally wrecked. I'm just kidding. Alright, so now we go here. We can grab this item. And that's, honestly, I think it. I thought there was one more item over here. If anything, it's probably just bait that I remember seeing over here. Yeah. And just to put the world together for you guys again, that's the Craglands where we entered everything. This is the area that we had taken out those bros, and we broke that little crystal to gain more arcana. That's the tower. That's the skull where the wolf is. The tower where we, the library actually. So it's all kind of coming together, hopefully for you guys, right? Right. But anyways, now we drop down here. We're going to use our last heal. It's very likely we're going to die, because I don't have a lot of spells that are really going to deal tons of damage to the golem. And I don't really have good spells even for these guys. Fire is great, but on my other file, my basic skill is fire. My basic spell, so that's how I'm able to take these guys out really easily, but they're pretty resistant to a lot of other things. Oh my gosh. Good shot, sir. Okay. A jolly good shot. Now we're going to go this way. This is the to me, a very interesting area. It's called the Sanctified Cave. It's only a grade 1 dungeon, but it just, there's something about it. Just kind of, it's just, after the fight, I'm going to highlight something and just be like, let's just take a look. Let's just see. Let's figure this one out. We come down here and then we're going to see a golem, or maybe this is one of the titans coming together. We're going to have to be pretty aggressive though. Oh my gosh. That's not doing tons of damage, is it? That's not doing enough damage. Oh my gosh. That's not doing anything. That's not doing anything. We'll definitely die. And there's an item right to the right. So right in that corner, there's an item he's protecting. There's a barrier he's protecting. And there's something else as well. But anyways, we're going to go and kill him really quickly. From the church Undercroft, you can access the Craglands very easily. It's right past the demon. And another thing we could do, we do have enough to level up our staff. Let me see something really quickly. I want to see if I have the means to unlock this one spell. It's a spell that I used to great effect for his giant self. Ooh, I don't have it yet. Yeah, I don't have the spell yet. And we need 2 more of those. Okay, no worries. Well, that's unfortunate. So we'll have to... Ice would probably hurt them pretty good. They don't seem to be very strong to ice. They're resistant to fire and lightning. And then Arcane Remember is not necessarily very good against any particular enemy. So I'm going to try... Let's try this. I would do the icicle, but it's just such a weak spell in my opinion. It's probably a good one, but the problem is I like dealing damage. This is really good for status effects and freezing enemy. Then you can subsequently deal damage, but it's just not. It's not my style. I want the DPS, all of it, all the deeps. All right, so this should now be my spell. Okay, lovely. So let's go kick some ass. We're gonna go back to the Craglands. And we're going to take on this buddy. That will be one of the titans. Alright, here we go. 1 and 2 for you, now that he's knocked down. We get a bookcase fragment, that's fantastic. And now we can continue on our way. We're back in the Craglands. You guys should be familiar with this by now. I should have just let the little guy eat, you know, but that's disgusting. I don't like rats. ROUSs. Back away, very nice. Parry like a boss. We need to make sure that you either use your visual cues or audio cues to parry those, okay? Because get used to the timing just off the audio cue, but the visual cue is as soon as I start shaking. So as soon as I start shaking. Just like that. That's hip-hop. Just like that. That's swagger. Alright, so we're going to go this way. We're going to run past these dudes because I really don't feel like spending mana on them. Because this fire spell I have is kind of costly. And I want to save my mana for this fight. You can use the bookcase fragments to increase your mana during the fight, but it is a slow build-up, so I don't necessarily want to do that. We're going to activate the light just for some visibility, and we're going to go ahead and equip our Ice Dirk Volley. Is there no way to shorten the run back? No, this is the walk of shame. This is the quickest path. The one I just took is the quickest path. He's stunned, everybody. He's stunned again. See, ice is pretty good. Look at that. When you have a big target. Holy balls. We just murdered him. That was good. So the reason why we did that was for this beautiful thing right here. We got Zulon's Beak, which is, in my opinion, the best talisman. I've used it my entire play. I've used it my entire playthrough. So this is the old beak husk of a curator, now long gone, but still as sharp as it was on its final peck. Parry shock waves deal damage. So when you parry, the shock waves of that parry are going to deal damage to enemies, which is awesome. Now it's this, not this, but this here that I'm most interested in. There's a few theories I have about this particular. I'm assuming there's a number of criteria we have to meet to open this door. There are barricades and barriers like this across the map, and you'll see that you can obtain seals that break the barriers, and you can then go through them. Typically, they're colored. So say you have a yellow seal or yellow barrier. If you get a yellow seal, that then breaks that barrier, and you can still, it's now white, and you can go right through it. Well, I can't go through this one. And there's a chest right there, which makes me want to just do everything possible to find out what the loot is on the other side. But I'm assuming this is possibly something that, because it's so early on in the game, it's one of those things that requires a bunch of different criteria for you to activate. And then once you activate it, most people will probably forget about it and never get it, right? But I imagine there's a way, a very probably complicated way to get inside of here. And I want what's in there. And rest assured, Mr. Free Mana, if you're still watching, I'm going to try my best to find it. Try my best to figure it out. But now we have Zulon's Beak, which is, in my opinion, the best talisman in the game, and one that I use all the time. Been using this entire playthrough. So that was the extent of the of that particular Craglands zone, this open world area. It does continue along, and what we're going to do is we're going to actually go back to the church. Oh, not back to the church. I'm sorry. Back to the back to the church, which will then take us back to our library area, and then we'll level, and then that'll be a good stopping point for today, I believe. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I'm panicking. Panic! Free Mana says, I am. I was wondering if you'd ever looked above the gate. Ooh. Ooh. I want to go back and see now. Sorry, guys. We're going to... Well, not sorry, because you guys get more time of streamage. Let's see. Oh. Let's take a look. Maybe there's clues as to how to open it up. See, this is why I love people that are passionate about games and making games. Free Mana, this has been such an excellent experience. Just want to say thank you so much, especially for stopping by in the stream. I know I'm a much smaller streamer. This is my smallest channel, just so you know. I do have a lore channel that has like nearly 50,000 subscribers, which is still very small time, but it's definitely I've been a full-time creator for 3 years now and just struggling my way through trying to do everything to make it work, but it's been fun. It's been a great experience, and having people like you making games like this, it just makes it even better. And even being able to support a small streamer like myself, I really do appreciate that. I'm much more of a content creator than I am a streamer, but I've been streaming quite a bit lately. So I see. It's bricky. This kind of reminds me of one of the dungeons that I'm in right now. Free Mana says it's been a great pleasure to watch you play. Thank you so much. I don't know, man. I was wondering if you'd ever looked above the gate. You are such a troll, like in the best of ways. I mean that with utmost respect. Stalactites. Stalagmites? One of those. Oh. Free Mana says, okay, nothing there yet. We'll have to pop back later. Oh. Interesting. So on my other file, I've done quite a bit more and accomplished quite a bit more. And I can only imagine that that's going to be something that may already have items or whatever appear there. So that's going to be interesting. Really looking forward to that. You should do some Lost Codex Lost lore. Oh, I will. I'm going to do a comprehensive story explained video once I beat the damn game. The game is huge, so it'll be a little bit. But then once I do the lore video, I might do little lore bites as well. But I definitely want a comprehensive story explained video at the very least. I definitely will feature that. Any game that I'm passionate about will always find its way on my channel. So you can rest assured that I will do a lore video on my larger channel just to help maximize that exposure as well, of course. Let's see. So I want another spell slot, if I'm being real. We're going to use our Halcyons as well. But yeah, I will definitely do another, a lore video. And I'll do guides on this channel as well. Kavak says, I was going to guess it needs an ice spell to break, but I guess not. I tried ice. I actually did that previously. Based on the color, I was trying to say, okay, maybe the different colors of the barriers indicate the different spells need to break through it, but not quite. Not this time. So anyways, this is the end of this particular stream, but I want to show you guys my other character really quickly. You have the means to then customize and like make your character look different, and it's pretty cool. I mean, the character looks the same, but you can change like the dye of the garments and stuff that we talked about earlier. But let me just pop this character open real quick so you guys can kind of see the differences in the spells and what it's like to be a little bit more leveled. Again, we'll be in the same library area, but I really like the different dungeons and just the variety of how each of those, like on the search for the grimoire, it's a vastly different experience each time. So really nice touch. But anyways, so here's my guy right now. I am rocking the silver armor right now, so I'm kind of like quicksilvered up. I got this grimoire and this one. This one I just did off of a whim because I was really determined, but going back and I'm going to take this one on next. In terms of the locations, just to get a little taste, look at all that, guys. Wrap your lips around that. That is a lot of stuff. And then spellcraft wise, I've nearly unlocked all of them, but because I skipped one of the earlier areas for the second grimoire, I think that's the only thing I'm lacking. But I really want to obtain everything if I can. My goal will be to 100% this for sure. But this is the spell that I wanted to show you guys because I wanted to use that for the golem. But the rock monsters are typically weakest to ice, but they don't like dark very much either. Aside from that, yeah, I mean that's kind of, I guess if you wanted to take a look at the spells I have. So I just use the regular fire spell. Boulder, of course, is golden. Shock Ray is good for certain enemies. Fisher is probably my favorite spell in the entire game. And then Mage Light, you can light yourself up if you need to. And then Crimson Daggers, this is the one I was going to use on the big rock dude. But the Ice Dirk Volley was so much cheaper, and I had it readily available to craft. So, but anyways, that is a taste of once you get your once you put your big boy britches on as the curator, then you can do some really cool stuff. There's so many amazing spells actually that I don't even use often, but I've used and to great effect. So you can customize your character in so many different ways. And anyways, this is a great game. If you guys said you're going to support it, so be sure to go out there and support. This is again a solo dev project. Free Mana Game Studios, the guy that made it all by himself. 3 years of hard work and blood, sweat, and tears, I'm sure, but it's certainly worth it. And I just want to say thank you so much for again stopping by today's stream, and really looking forward to continuing covering this game. I'm going to do everything in my power to be able to create some comprehensive guides for some of the more difficult areas as soon as I can. The scheduling is always a little difficult for me because of this new, the new addition to like the regular streaming. So I have to find ways to pop in the content in between across 3 channels. So, anyways, you guys are awesome. Name of the game, Chris LaMontagne. The game is called Codex Lost. It is a open world action RPG where you are able to explore dungeons and craft spells and do all kinds of things. Be sure to watch the VOD. It's going to cover, you're going to see 3 hours of content on it so you can get a taste of what it looks like. Freeman says, thank you so much for playing Inhuman. Looking forward to more. Chris LaMontagne says, probably should be in the title. It's meant to bring you in and then you can ask the question, see? Kavak says, bye. Thank you. All right, awesome. You guys are great. So anyways, you guys said you're going to check it out. If you do want to check out the game and you're serious about supporting the dev, there is a link in my description, and it's just the link to the Steam page for it. So be sure to check it out. There is no affiliation or anything, no affiliate link or anything like that. It's just to help support the dev. It's a great game. Rest assured, we'll be continuing more of this series for the rest of the week and until we beat the game, actually. And guides will come out as soon as I start getting some of those together for you guys. But I want to say thank you all so much for being the best part of my channel. And until next time, it's the Inhuman.